I'm going to do a 4-hour training on this, and then you can consume it, and you'll have all the details packed up with all the data. So we have all the positives. And, we're going the wrong way. And we have eliminated all the biggest negatives. This is why people that are already making $250,000 or making $500,000 at their companies, when they see this, it's easier for them to understand than like the person I was or David was when they first saw the business. We didn't have a business background to really be able to understand it. Those folks understand it. The people on your chicken list will be the easiest recruits you've ever had in your life. When they understand what we actually do, they're dumping what they're doing, and they're coming here as fast as they can, okay? So bottom line, you couldn't make it up that good. I'm 1 minute over. Next speaker. Yep. What? Oh, yeah, I knew that. Thanks for confirming that, though. Let me know as soon as if anything gets rolling out there. What's that? Is it live? Are you guys watching it? Oh, they see it. Awesome. It's up. So, welcome, America. You didn't get to hear this morning. We had the biggest confirmation we could ever get that we're getting ready to go on the biggest run our company or the people in here, at least the people in this organization, has ever seen. The power went out. That's why you weren't able to see us. Now you can see us the rest of the time. Invite more people to come watch. So this next couple that you're going to hear from, she graduated from college with that college degree. She put together Good Use as a bartender. And they just are new ring wearers. Well, the ring's not here yet, but they're going to have the rings coming. Going over $100,000 in income. And they're one of our top 3 overall teams in recruiting and building distribution our last time period. And Mike just went full-time. When did you go full-time, Mike? February. And their business had taken a big jump. Because Mike has the chief operations, COO mind, and Aaron has the I'm going to go conquer the world mind. And so Mike will keep everything. So she throws a lot of stuff in, and Mike keeps it straight, okay? And they've got some great things going on. It just shows how important a partnership is, having a person in your life that's doing it. So give a big round of applause to one of our top 3 VPs, Aaron and Mike.
Can y'all hear me okay? All right, partners, stand up. I want to take a moment to thank you for everything that you do and all that you are. And babe, I want to say right now, thank you for everything that you are and all that you do. And everybody always told us, your guys' business is going to explode the moment that guy tunes in. And they couldn't have been more right. It took off. So I love you. I appreciate you very, very much. All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to talk about partnership really quickly because we're going to break off into a partner group here in just a little bit, right? Just in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to keep this really short and sweet, about 3 minutes. But here's my message to everybody, the vow to pursue. And I promise to always pursue you. Always, okay? So here's the thing. Partnership looks different to everybody. Partnership, this is a leadership conversation. This is a partnership conversation. But the vow to pursue, if the grass looks greener somewhere else, that's a sign to you that it's time to start watering your own grass, right? Don't stand behind me. Right beside me, okay?
Yeah, quit moving.
But I can't help. But what I mean by that is take the time to figure out your partner's driving force as well as your own. Who here has taken the Tony Robbins driving force quiz? You got to do it immediately. Right? You got to figure that out for yourself, and then you have to figure that out for your partner. The other thing is, who here has ever done colorful personalities? Okay? Know yours and know theirs. And the last thing that I would say is love and respect. This is a huge deal. This is a leadership and partnership conversation that I'm talking about right now. So here's the thing. Both of you are worth pursuing. This is a mutual pursuit. So I'm going to give you 3 things to help drive that vow of pursuit, all right? Because this is leadership that I'm talking about. Okay, the first thing is when you think something good, say it. The moment you feel it, say it. Say it often, say it truthfully, say it frequently, okay? That's the first thing. Because if you encourage every single day, you start to heal yourself and you heal your partner. But that's a big deal. So the first thing is if you're in a leadership position or in a partnership, say words of encouragement, okay? Here's a tip, gentlemen. Women love words of affection. They want to know today that you love them, right? And here's the thing for women, okay? Men want you to believe in them. Believe in where they're going. Believe who they can be, all right? So that's a very big deal. And add the word after you say, I love you, I respect you, I believe in you. Add the word because every day, okay? Now, this also goes for leaders speaking to your teammates. You know what I'm saying? Every day, frequently, as often as you can. Second thing, when you think something special, do it. We'll never be judged by our intentions. We'll be judged by what we followed through on, okay? So every single day, what do you call something if you know you could be a blessing, but you choose not to do it? Sin. You said it. Absolutely. Waste. So the second thing in pursuing every single day is when there is an opportunity to do something special, just do it. And the third thing is, if you want something different, again, this is a leadership conversation. This is a relationship conversation. Third thing about pursuing, if you want something different, be it, okay? Criticism, critique, complaining, coming to the conversation saying, I need more of this from you, is a calling from God that he wants something deeper from you, okay? So if you want something, choose to be it first. If I need Mike to be more present, instead of coming to him telling him, I need you not looking at your phone, I wish you'd be better at this, instead I need to embody all of that consistently, okay? So this is a leadership conversation. This is also a partnership conversation. Does that make sense? So you become who God wants you to become whenever you feel a moment that you could critique or complain about somebody. Choose to do that. When it's easy to complain, remember, you're being requested to be something deeper of yourself, okay? So guys, that's a conversation on partnership, leadership, and let's take it to the next level. Love you, babe. Love you.
Stay up here. What Aaron just shared, Aaron and Tom Rice have a lot in common, and that is, if I ask, they're like, sure, what is it? And it's always positive. And it'd be the same thing with Aaron, like I described with Tom yesterday, where if we're in a group with leaders and I'm doing something, she's going to be the one cheering it on. Yep, let's do it, coach. That's what we're doing. And then privately, she'll go, you sure about that? But she's supportive in front of everybody, right? And so she's a rock star that way. Mike is a rock star. One of the things, and also if I go into any confrontations with agents, I'm taking Mike with me, right? I just have him stand in the back. I need to take you on some of my Animal Justice League stuff. But partnership, two people in love, locked on a common goal, is the most powerful force in the universe. And we get that, and we support that. We encourage that. But partners come in many different forms, right? 57% of the new successful people in our business are women. So then it could be the husband. For me, it was my mother in the beginning, and then Gina, right? But if you're building a business, you need somebody that's going to support, and their business exploded from that. What we're getting ready to do in just a minute, Jeff and Kristen Gambala, $400,000 earners that will explode to $1 million in earnings. They are having a breakout, and in just a minute, Mike, you should be able to see him, is going to walk right out that door over there, and all the partners can follow him to a special workshop for partners. There is a Zoom that's being Zoomed, not live streamed, and so we can do it on Zoom. The regional vice presidents in all of our stuff, are you going to put it in the? It's everywhere. So all those are there. If you want a partner to be able to see what that is, it was the biggest key to doing what we did as fast as we did the first go around. It's going to be all over again. So they're a great partnership. Proud of them. Give them a round of applause. Head that way. Follow partners. Go ahead and head on over with Jeff and Kristen in their workshop. Need to get the agenda. Is Greg Vermeer going to be next? Greg's next. So something as they're quietly heading over to the partners meeting, we got to fly once again through this. You're going to get my slides up, right? Cool deal. Hey, look at this. Those of you that are still sitting here, you're new. Look at that right there. How many companies want your partner involved and have that many involved? Phenomenal. Okay. You guys need to understand this, and again, I've got to fly. What we have is not just a crusade for good. We are crusading against evil. My good friend, David Gregory, sat in the front row right here. Attorney, I'll talk more about him later. Chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Unbelievable accolades. Youngest this, youngest that, youngest this, youngest that, right, of everything. Freshman of the year in the House and all the different stuff over there. But we're working on a lot of other stuff, but when I had a minute, I started to talk about this, and being an attorney, it's like, that's kind of hard to believe, right? Because nobody would believe this, right? That's why it's got to be taught, all right? It's a crusade against evil. Life insurance industry's new scam could steal billions or even trillions of dollars of Americans' money. It's happening right now, okay? The marketing gimmick is called infinity banking, or infinite bank, infinity banking. They talk about owning your own bank. All it is a way to try and confuse somebody to think that their money is going to be their own so that they give the person all of their money, okay? Most of the agencies are founded in Utah. The reason they're founded in Utah is because every network marketing company in the United States is founded in Utah because the laws are so liberal, you can rob from people and never get in trouble. And so you go out of business, start a new one every 6 years. It's unbelievable how that is, but that's why they're out there. And so they are out recruiting insurance agents and financial advisors to go to work with them with this scheme. So I want to show you on social media real quick so you can kind of understand why this can actually work. So here's the expert. I mean, all over TikTok, all over everywhere, there's all these people that are talking. So listen to this great expert on money. Sound. Guess it's not going to play through here. It did play. It played yesterday. I don't have the ability to push the button. All right. Bottom line, that's a 43-second video. You guys go find all of them on TikTok. Just put infinity banking in there. And if you do, it's going to scare the crap out of you because you can be super experienced and go, because they basically have Eugene. It's like the Harvard MBA attorney saying this stuff. And so they can create doubt even in a Greg Vermeer. They can actually think that this stuff is true. They're so brazen with it, okay? They're recruiting financial advisors to give up their securities license all across the nation. Give up your securities license. Get out from underneath all the federal regulation. Insurance is state regulated, and we can legally do this. And what you're going to do, you're going to go back. Now you don't have a securities license, but you have $200 million of AUM with your clients. You're now going to go back to those clients who like and trust you. They've invested a total of $200 million with you. You're going to go and go, aha, I learned something new, how the banks make their money. I'm going to show you how to set up your own private bank. You'll never have to go to a bank ever again. You get to be the one that owns the bank. And they roll their entire life savings into this, okay? And all it is a whole life or universal life policy. That's all it is. That is all it is. So, and that you're going to hear more from people from our company that can just kind of confirm that before they get onto the stuff talking about our products. And make 40 to 80% the first year. So imagine you have $1 million of a client's money, and you can make 0.5% in managed, or 1% a year. And that's what you're making. But if you come to work with us, give up your securities license, and you roll that $1 million, you can make $400,000 to $800,000 on one client. If you're a scumbag, it's pretty easy to look the other way, right? It's kind of like, or let's put it this way. Greg, if I'm going to pay you $400,000 to $800,000 for every client you've got that has $1 million, you're going to be at least interested to learn and hope that that is good for the client. You with me? And so you start looking for reasons to believe rather than reasons not to believe. Clients won't know until it's too late. How can they get away with that? Okay? Because, look at this. This is who regulates life insurance companies. Life insurance companies are regulated. Actually, I think is this got a pointer on it? No. Regulated by the individual states. They are licensed or certified to sell insurance. There is not a federal regulating body of insurance such as the Securities and Exchange Commission. And so it's the states don't communicate on this. So it'll take years before they find out what's going on. The McCarran-Ferguson Act. The Federal Trade Commission is barred from even investigating the life insurance industry. But they make it look like we do regulate. Look what it does. The Federal Trade Commission Act, as amended, shall be applicable to the business of insurance to the extent that such business is not regulated by state law. It's not regulated then. But that's a smart way of making it look like it's regulated, but it's really just state regulated, right? Okay? Oh, no. Greg's next. You can go ahead and put my slides down and bring Greg's slides up. I'm going to introduce Greg Vermeer. Greg just went over $700,000 in income. He was a former painter, painted houses. Big education for what we do, right? What he's going to share with you will demonstrate the mindset of what the industry does. And until you see things like this firsthand, you don't believe it. I'm proud of Greg. I'm proud of Sandy. They're going to impact so many people's lives in a positive way in this encore, is that what you called it? Encore career? I mean, it's unbelievable. It's soon to go over $1 million in income. Great at what he does. Give Greg Vermeer a big round of applause.
Thank you. I had such a good time last night meeting with people who are at phases in their business, where they're just trying to get going. They're trying to find hope in their lives. And so I'm speaking to you when it comes to this. I was introduced to Primerica. It's been a long time ago. It's in September of 1993. One of my best friends talked to me about joining him and working with Primerica. He's still one of my best friends today. I thank him so much for introducing us to this business. But when I first got started, I was a painter. I painted houses and barns, and I didn't know anything about financial things. But when they came to our house and shared with us investing in mutual funds, and we owned Cash Value Life Insurance, and I realized that with Cash Value Life Insurance, when I saw this, I thought, no money accumulates the first few years. The returns are poor. If you ever want access to your money, you actually have to pay interest to borrow to get your own money, and which it's tax-free to borrow your own money. That's the whole key to infinite banking, okay? It's tax-free. And you lose your cash value if you die. Well, what is infinite banking? Put all kinds of money into a whole life policy so that you can borrow it out tax-free. Okay, you might avoid paying taxes, but you got to pay interest on a loan, and you're paying mortality charges when you're 60, 70, 80, 90 years old that you would never pay if you knew what the actual cost of insurance was. And you could even borrow from one of your policies to buy another one. Anyway, so I'm hoping to get through this quickly, and I have a short story I want to share with you at the end, so I hope I have time to do that. But so this is me and my brother early on, and this is kind of what we looked like when we first got started with Primerica. He came on board about a year after I got on in the business, and I told him I didn't want this because I'd be shaking. I'm doing it, so I'll try to get it together here. You like that shirt? I figured you were a Reds fan. So anyway, when we got started, I was excited. I mean, I saw this business, and I thought, man, everybody owns cash value life insurance. This is going to be easy. And we went out, and I put this in front of, with my trainer, maybe 7, 10 people, and we were just clicking. This was a blast. I'd paint during the day, and then we were going out there and killing it at night. And one day, I got licensed in November of 93. It was November 2 of 1993. And in November 23 of 1993, I come home from painting. I'm sitting at my table in my paint clothes, and there's a letter in our mail from our life insurance agent. Okay, this is the dad of one of my best friends. And here's what he writes in here, and I'm sorry to read to you, and I'm going to read real quick. I'm sorry you folks are being taken in by Primerica Life Insurance Company. This company is the outgrowth of the old A.L. Williams organization, which is known as the biggest shyster in the life insurance industry. Somewhere in the future, you'll be very sorry you are making these decisions. Now, that haunts me a little bit yet today, you know. I know Primerica's paid us $7.7 million, and we have about $383 million under management. But still, someday, I know. I have been in this business for 33 years. I hold professional designations of look, clue, and chfk. I challenge anyone in the Primerica organization you're associated with to come up with even the simplest professional designation. I feel that I am a professional in this industry, and what I have to say should bear considerable more weight, whether it be Dwayne Highveld, Stan Kelderman, Roger Hugan, or any other part-time neophyte in the Pellet organization. I had to look up the word neophyte, okay? But I'm sitting there thinking, holy crap, if I do this, I'm going to be on the neophyte list in all his letters from now on, you know? The other thing that I'm sure you can discern from this letter is that I'm extremely disappointed that a couple of brilliant young people like yourselves could fall for the crap Primerica puts out. Worse than that, if Greg's a part-time agent for them, he is additionally spreading this crap without knowing what he's talking about. I feel sorry, or I'm sorry I have to be so terse in this letter, but I find it abominable. What snowmen have to do with this, I have no idea. In the manner in which they operate. You see how professional he was? And his, oh, crap. How do I go backwards? Okay. See how professional he is? Here's what Greg the painter did. This is the letter he got. And I'd been in the business for 23 days, okay? I'm sorry to see the hostility you have for your competition. I'm also glad I've done enough careful studying to keep a letter like this from scaring me. You need to understand, when I enter someone's home, I'm going to listen to what they, when I enter someone's home, I'm going to do what's right for them, period. I present them with a choice no one's likely ever presented with them. I've dealt with countless insurance agents, was never shown the choice of term insurance, which allows individuals to receive the kind of coverage they need at the time they need it, at costs they can afford. I don't mean to get personal, but the amount of coverage we had on Sandy was a joke. We were able to receive 4 times the coverage for the same price. As for the cash value side, we simply feel we have better investment opportunities elsewhere. We could lock heads for 24 hours straight, and bottom line, America is a wonderful place, and competition is the driving force. Recognize your competition for what it really is. I'm going to stick with my Primerica junk. I thought that'd be it, but that wasn't it. Oh, I forgot to mention here, there's something you really should see. Am I going to go out and tear up every whole life, universal life, or variable life policy that I see? No. And I think there's some important training here, and maybe your compliance officer should see you write this down. if you ever run into a perfectly good cash value life insurance policy, do not replace those, okay? 6 days later, remember when you used to write letters to people? This is November 29. Now I'm really a veteran now. I've been in the business for 27 days. I received your return letter in this morning's mail. It's about what I had expected. Your ambitions and goals at this time concerning your part in the insurance business are about what I expected from someone who is trained with Primerica. That first letter bothered me, okay? I mean, honestly, I was just like, wow, this was fun. Suddenly, this isn't fun. This second letter really got me. And Tom, I don't mean to offend you in any way, shape, or form because I love you dearly, but when I read that, I thought, okay, the guy I'm following is 25 years old. He talks 100 million miles an hour, and when I ask him a question, he has no idea the answer. Tom has grown, okay? But seriously, I looked at that and I thought, you know what? Maybe he's right. And I almost quit right there. You know what? I kind of was like, you know, this was fun. This is great, but I'm not sure I'm interested in all this. And what was he trying to steal from us at that very moment? Everything that this company's been able to do for us, for our family, for our kids, for the people that we could impact when we went from financially independent to financial impact. Tried to smush it out right there. And he almost stamped it out. And what I did was, and I didn't know how to do a spreadsheet, but I looked at the 7 to 10 clients that we had, and I started going year by year. Would this person be better off, whether they lived or died, with my program versus his? And in every, year 1, year 2, year 20, year 30, and in every situation, it wasn't just, oh yeah, they'd be a little bit better with ours. It was like night and day. And I thought, how could a person that's been in this for 33 years versus somebody that's been in here for 33 days be that wrong? Well, he was that wrong because he chose to be. And I put it on myself at that moment, and I don't necessarily mean to put this on you, but at that time I thought, you know what, if I quit knowing what I know, he wins, and so does evil, you know? And so since then, he finishes off with this loving kiss. Please be aware if you attempt to replace any of my universal life policies, I will prove those people that their present universal life policies are a better term you can write. As far as I'm concerned, by original feeling about the quality of the company which you represent and the professionalism of people whom you are associated with has not changed. I'm sorry you chose to cast your lot with them rather than a reputable or professional people. His company went out of business not long after that. And I ran into one of his policies. Of course, you know, it got absorbed by some other. I ran into somebody really last year with a policy from this guy that had a $25,000 death benefit, and in the cash value was $23,800. And they were still paying $600 a year. Do you know what that insurance company was in for if she died? About $1,600. Well, that $2,300 found a 1035 exchange. Now it's worth $32,000. She's still doing good, you know. So, but unbelievable. So that's what we looked like back then. The one closest is a friend that introduced me to Primerica, and oh, there's that policy. You can't see it, so okay. But when you are on the phone, and this is what I was kind of talking about to Crystal last night about, you know, you got to kind of talk to yourself and get yourself over the fear, because it's just scary as can be. But you got to remind yourself, I'm only looking for the people that are looking for me. I heard that from Kara Dower. I always give her credit for that. One of these days, I'm going to stop giving her all that credit. I can't prove the doubters to be right. I couldn't quit, or he wins, right? And I'll take David said this last night, I'll take the no's for my family so they don't have to. I understand it's scary. And I sincerely pray for those of you that are struggling to know whether this is where you're supposed to be, that you find that clarity that Shane was talking about. There is another side to it, though. And once you get over the hump of being consciously incompetent, where you don't know what you're talking about, and you know you don't know what you're talking about, to where you become consciously competent, to where you know what you're talking about, but you got to think yourself through it, to where you can become unconsciously competent, where you know what you're talking about and you just go, right? You get through those stages, and some people drag that out forever. I'm suggesting you get that over with quickly, okay? I've got just a couple pictures I want to share with you of the why and why it's so worth it. This gal here is our oldest, and I'm going to share with you a story here, and I don't want any accolades from it. I just want you to see how powerful our God is and what he can do in the lives of people for whatever reason. This gal, about 3 years ago, decided that it was on her heart to pick up a homeless person and bring him to lunch at Chick-fil-A. And sorry, I had a lot of pictures here that I'm just going to kind of buzz through. By the way, Sandy is the perfect partner for me. I'm an A personality. She's an S personality. Anything I'm great at, she's not maybe that great at. Anything I'm not good at, she's awesome at, okay? So bear with me here a little bit. But these are some of the fun stuff I like to do. But I want to get to this story. She picks him up. First thing he says to her when he gets in the car is, "Don't pick up homeless people. That's not very smart to do." Fortunately, it's a good... She takes him to Chick-fil-A, and he tells her his life story. This guy talks and talks and talks. It's unbelievable. So she gets done with that, and of course, later she's like, "Dad, there's a guy I met, and you need to meet him." And so she throws him on my lap. She goes back to college, and I'm like, "Thank you." I get to meet him. It's like, oh, dude. He had left his family, 3 kids and a wife, and spent 16 years in southern Texas hooked on crack cocaine. And somebody showed him his kids on Facebook, 16 years later, and he went clean like that. This is about a year after he came clean on his own through faith, okay, because he knew the Lord. And I said, "Bill, it's not acceptable that you stand out there at the corner and beg for money. We need to get you a job." Well, we went to Sonic. He'd had a job at Sonic years before. And we went there, and of course he couldn't get a job because he didn't have an ID. So we went to the DMV to get him an ID, but of course he couldn't get an ID because he didn't have a Social Security card. So we went to Social Security, right, and he couldn't get a Social Security card because he didn't have a birth certificate. It's like, how are these people supposed to do this? So he's holding a bus ticket there. We had to send him to Pennsylvania so he could get his birth certificate, so he could get his Social Security card, so he could get his ID, so he could go get a job. And he got a job day one. Here's him getting his hair cut. We put him back on the corner. And this time he wasn't begging for money. His sign says, "I want to thank all of you who have helped me. I have a job." And he got more honks and cheers, and I mean, it was just unbelievable. Somebody at our church bought him a set of teeth, okay? I mean, fixed his dentures and all that kind of stuff. And he prayed for full restoration of his family. And last year in July, on the 13th of July, he remarried his spouse. And there's his family. And the reason I share that story is Bill thinks that God put me in his life for him. And I promise you that God put Bill in my life for me, because this guy is so on fire and reminds me every day. And I'm a wet sock compared to what he is, in his faith. We took him to, and I know I'm over, we took him to Casting Crowns concert the other night, and if you want to see a guy that's heart is on fire for the Lord, I got to show you a video, but I don't have time to do it here. So now, thank you very much.
Great job, Greg. You know what? I said many years ago, right? Before I even had kids, right? I said at some point in life, there's going to be PFS kids and kids that are real pissed off they ain't PFS kids because of how they grow up here. It's unbelievable what the kids that grow up in this environment go on to do. They win at so many things, but you can just tell his daughter's heart what that was like to start that whole process. We are in a crusade against evil, right? But we have to have something to replace that with. One of the things of why we can do what we do, volume pricing, no advertising. Every year or 2 years since I've been in the business, we have improved our insurance product. Our term insurance isn't just insurance. It's on steroids times 10, right? It's absolutely, by the way, for newer people, they go, why would a cash value person sell cash value insurance versus term, okay? Their commission is 10 times higher to sell a cash value life insurance policy versus term. Our stuff is all term. You don't have the option to screw something up. From Atlanta, or from our home office, John Foppe is here, and he's going to talk to you partly about what makes our product special and good things that are coming down the road. Because the more volume we do, the better we make things. And John represents just that product for training, education, all that kind of stuff. So give a big round of applause to John Foppe.
Thank you. Is this on? Appreciate it. Come on. Thank you so much. Appreciate that introduction. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So happy to be here. Just like we've all been talking about this morning, and as I looked over, before I came up on the stage, I looked over, and as Shane was mentioning, what I'm talking about, our crusade at Primerica, I saw that banner, Transform to Move. And that's what I thought about with our new product and this crusade that we're on every single day. Transform to move the needle at Primerica, as I like to call it. And so excited to be here. I did. Yesterday, if you were in the workshop, I talked about a little bit like what Shane mentioned, the infinite banking concept and understanding how that is really what it is. It's a concept, works, and how we can overcome, how we can better utilize our tools, our resources, everything we have at our fingertips at Primerica to combat that concept. And so what we have coming with our life insurance product is truly going to be transformational, and it is going to move the needle. We're very, very excited for it. So real quick, okay, I do want to give a little recap. We're looking back at 2020. So an unprecedented year for the company. 2020 is the start of the pandemic. Everything shut down, screeching halt. Everything came to a screeching halt. But Primerica did not. It was an unbelievable banner year for the company. And when you look back across the industry, 10.2 million life insurance policies were sold across our industry, okay? Primerica was just 3%. 3% of that 10.2. What does that scream to you? To me, it says unprecedented opportunity. That's what it is. Unprecedented opportunity to meet more families that need what we have and what we provide every single day. The industry average face amount, $183,000, okay? But every single one of you in here, whether you've been in the business or you're brand new, the difference you make shows. Primerica's average face amount, close to $250,000, providing that coverage that those families didn't know they needed, okay? You break that down, that 10.2, 4.2 was just term, our bread and butter, our nuts and bolts. The remaining $6 million, the other stuff, the junk, the infinite banking, the whole life, the cash value, index universal life, maybe what's the other one? Thank you. All of it, all the junk, okay? But we're making a difference. And what I mean, unprecedented opportunity, and when we look towards what we're gonna provide with this new life insurance product, it is going to move the needle. We're very, very excited for it. Now, we know all term life insurance is not created equal. We provide the difference. We are the difference for term life insurance. 94% of our claims are paid within 14 days. That's powerful. That is powerful for those loved ones going through a death claim. They just lost their spouse, their husband, their wife, their partner, whoever it might be. We pay those claims out. We take that burden off of them. Guaranteed insurability up to age 95, term lengths up to 35 years, automatic increase, that IBR, AIR, waiver of premium, terminal illness benefit. For all my new teammates, this is your first meeting here. You're going to learn about all of that because it's the concepts, it's the structure behind our policy that makes it so powerful, okay? So when we talk about our vision for this year, as we lead into convention and then coming out of convention and the introduction of this revolutionary life insurance product, that is what we're calling it, revolutionary. We don't throw that word around a lot, but it is going to truly revolutionize your business, okay? That is our focus, all right? So, 2 brand new products, Power Term and Precision Term, okay? Those who are familiar with what we offer every single day. Power Term replaces Term Now. Precision Term will replace Custom Advantage. One built for convenience, one built to be truly competitive. One of our most competitive priced products we have ever offered, okay? But both will absolutely exceed all of your clients' expectations and, more importantly, what we love, to allow you to build a bigger business, bigger than you've ever been before, okay? With the launch of this next generation of life product, a few fantastic things that you're gonna see here. Overall price reductions, that's huge. That's a huge part of it. Reducing the premiums for those clients who need that proper life insurance coverage. Technology enhancements, technology is gonna be a huge part of it, okay? We gotta get with the technology age here, all right? Industry innovations, improved underwriting. I made sure I underlined and bolded that one because those who are familiar with our underwriting process, yes, it can use a little energy. It can use some improving. So it is going to be an improved underwriting process. You're hearing it here from the horse's mouth, coming straight from the home office, okay? It can be improved. And so we are drastically going to improve our underwriting process, making it so much easier for those clients to get approved quicker, okay? And then an overall better client experience at the kitchen table. Look, we already provide amazing value at the kitchen table. Okay, but with what we're bringing with this new product, it is going to be even better than before, okay? Now, ooh, that was a fun little graphic there. With everything that is coming with this, I want to leave you with this right here. With the launch of Next Gen, think of this as a value increase, not a premium decrease. There is so much extra value and concepts and ideas and transformational technology going into this new product, okay? That is the value that's coming with this product. It's not the premium decrease. Yes, that's a positive you can think about, okay? But it's the value increase that it's going to truly move the needle for your business, allow you to grow it bigger than ever before, and just take this thing to a whole new level. So everything we talked about this weekend, infinite banking, the new product coming, you know, this crusade that we are on every single day, I pray for you that if there's guidance I can provide you, support in any way possible. You see all the states I cover there. I am more than happy to answer questions, talk to you about concepts, ideas, things that you see out in the field. You're interacting with these clients every single day, so it's what you see, it's what you learn, it's what you feel could move your own needle that I need to hear. So please do not hesitate to reach out to me because you know, when you grow, we grow, and so we're all in this together. Thank you so much. I'm actually 2.5 minutes under time. We're going to get us back on track here, so thank you.
We're going to be spending. We're going to be having here a lot more, okay? John, thank you. Make sure you do have those numbers. I'm telling you, you need any help on any of that stuff, or you have ideas that things need to be improved, get to John. He responds so quickly, it's not even funny. Okay, our next speaker, I hope he's here. Nate, are you here? Okay, there we go. There's the voice. We hadn't physically met yet. Our organization was a big part of creating our first major debt elimination process using mortgages. And so we created a lot of that system. When we rolled out, I don't have time to go through all the details, but when we got back in the mortgage business a couple years ago, I looked at how things were set up, and I knew that there was going to be issues with that, and so I really didn't want anybody in our organization involved in it until we had it at a point that they ought to be involved in it. And I had my head around how it ought to be done. Just about 3 weeks ago, because we were going to have a speaker here, and to be honest with you, I didn't want the speaker here, because until it was absolutely ready, I want to protect you from it. I don't care how exciting it is to be in it. I don't want it to take away from your potential growth until it was right. And I sent Glenn a text and said, I don't know who's in charge of all this stuff, but if you'll let me know who it is, I'm at least open to seeing if we can work together and actually make this something that could be really, really big instead of a targeted audience. And he texted me right back. I met Mike. That's a long story in itself. It's very exciting when you hear what Mike's role is. And then Mike hired Nate. That was his first big recruit, who came from Wells Fargo. And the deal that Mike negotiated to Quicken, which is Rocket now, through us, interest rate fluctuations aside, if our product is so good that if somebody has a mortgage that didn't go through one of you, to Rocket Mortgage, they got the wrong mortgage, okay? And we're in the process of making that better. They make decisions this quick. Mike gets to make the decisions he wants to make pretty much. And so one of the things I understood it was an extremely complex, it's not like smart loans. You're an actual mortgage broker. Here's 40 products to choose from. You're making a lot of important decisions for the client. So it's really got to be a focused thing. So I wanted to have each base shop have one specialist. That's kind of all they did. And then the RVP kept building and managing things, would override that person. And then all the rest of the people would just send their clients to that expert so that their clients could get the proper service, find out what was there. And this expert could have a significant income, but to be an expert at it, you need to be full-time at doing it. It's that kind of a business. And they agreed to do all that. So as I'm introducing Nate, you VPs that have not identified your expert yet, make sure if you have one of them here, when Nate's done, they can go over into the class that we're going to talk about. But I'm excited about getting in this business. I'm excited about kicking everybody else's rear end in the country in this business outside of our company. Give Nate Collette a big round of applause. He's in charge of the entire country. And he's been phenomenal to communicate with.
Oh, good. I just set my timer, but you got one right here for me. That's perfect. Well, glad to be here. So now you know I came from a big bad bank. Shane's been protecting you from me, and I'm going to use one of Greg's words. I'm a neophyte to Primerica. I've only been here for 2.5 years. So, and now you got to listen to me for 10 minutes and buy into what I'm telling you. But listen, I'm excited to be here. In the next 10 minutes, what I want to do is I want to dive in and I want to talk to you about why 100% of your clients would benefit by talking to a mortgage licensed Primerica rep. I also want to talk to you about why we are better, why they would be better off going through us for their mortgage needs than anybody else anywhere else. And I also want to talk to you about how you can fit a mortgage strategy into your Primerica business regardless of what type of business that you run. And what Shane was just talking about is a really exciting way that we're collaborating together to make this really, really big. So in the Decade of Dominance, I started a month before Glenn gave his speech to kick off the Decade of Dominance. I sat in there and I thought two things. I just joined an amazing company. And then my other thought is to disrupt the financial industry to the extent that Glenn is talking about. You can't quite get there without mortgage. It's way too big a part of the financial industry. So now we're in it. It's a big deal. We got to get really great at it. We got to do it the right way. Glenn said this accurately, that mortgage is the emotional lightning rod for people's finances. You think about it. You live in your home. It's your biggest, for most of our clients, it's what they're paying. It's their biggest expense on a monthly basis. It's their biggest asset. And so we've got to be engaged in that business. And I'm here to tell you that we're building this mortgage business so that it lasts. Some of you got burned with Smart and it went out the door, and you know, maybe some of you are a little bit hesitant about it coming back. Every decision we are making is so that this business is around for the long haul. It's the third stool to the Primerica, or the third leg, thank you, to the Primerica stool next to life insurance and securities, and it's a major business. It's going to be huge, and so I want to show you. Oh, here's my clicker. All right, good deal. So we're either active in or have announced in 24 states. We're going to get to 30 by the end of this year, 45 by the end of the next year, and in just 2.5 years, we've paid $16 million out to the field. In a very short period of time. In the first 2.5 years of Smart, we hadn't progressed that far. So we're on track to build bigger, faster, and we're having some really great things happen. So this slide is not to convince you. Some of you loved Smart. Maybe some of you still felt a little bit burned by it. This slide is not to convince you one way or the other if Smart was good or if it was bad. What I want to do is show you the comparison so you know what kind of business are we in right now. So if you think about that, back in Smart, the interest rates were high. You guys somehow did a phenomenal job with a really high interest rate, and really you did it by not talking about interest rate, because who cares when you're consolidating all the debt and you're changing somebody's life, right? But the interest rates, in comparison to the rest of the industry, were really high. In today's market, as we partner with Rocket, very, very competitive interest rates. You're going to be able to offer a better rate than 3 out of 4 people in the room. But again, it's still the same strategy. We don't really go by rate, but it is very competitive. Back with Smart, it took about 45 to 75 days to close a loan. We have the fastest turn times in the industry with our Rocket partner. In January, our clear to close time was 18 days on average. So huge difference there on how fast you can make a difference. The close rate back in the day, take a nap. Don't be a sap, take a nap, right? You remember all that. You take a bunch of applications, 18% of them will get all the way to the closing table. Right now, 2/3 of all of the applications that you do will get closed. Some of our best reps are doing 80% of the time, so a much higher approval rate. There was very limited products that you could offer. With ours, the big one that we're working on is debt consolidation, cash out refinances, but you can do purchases now, you can do FHA, you can do jumbo loans, you can do VA, you can do all of those things, okay? So it's really, really helpful. You used to do everything on paper. We have awesome technology. And now we've got, and this is the part that's kind of interesting. So this was maybe one of the appeals of the Smart program, is you didn't have to get too involved and too in the weeds. Fill out an application, send it in, move on to the next thing. In our business, you do get involved. And so it can be a little bit time consuming depending on your strategy that you set up with us. The benefit that I would submit to you is that you never pass your client off to another lender or for somebody else to work with. You're controlling the entire experience with that client. So that's just a kind of a breakdown, a comparison between those two. I mentioned to you that we can do it better than anybody else. We're partnered with the #1 lender in America, Rocket Mortgage. And we're not just partnered with Rocket Mortgage, we're partnered with Rocket Pro TPO, which is, it's the backdoor wholesale part. So when your clients goes and say, oh, I'm doing a Rocket Mortgage right now, it's like, well, you're not going to get as good of a rate, you're not going to get as good of a deal, and your service isn't going to be as good. I work with Rocket Mortgage as well, but I go in the back door with the wholesale team, and we have a whole entire team dedicated just to Primerica. You better come work with me on it. We can offer a better deal than anybody else can. So it's huge. It's huge. So there's really a ton of benefits, but we got the wholesale rates, the speed that I talked about, the technology is incredible. We can extend people's rates if it's taking a little bit longer. The rest of the industry charges that client to go longer, so we've got an amazing opportunity there. The list goes on and on of the benefits that we have partnering with Rocket. Here's the other big one, as to why I say we are better than the rest. Nobody else in the mortgage industry is on a debt crusade. Anybody in here ever been stressed out with debt before? Anybody in the room? Anybody have any clients who are stressed out with debt? It's a huge, huge problem. It's overwhelming. It's crushing. It's debilitating. There are 4.3 trillion, right now, $4.3 trillion in debt, consumers. On average, just consumer debt, not including mortgages, is $80,000 is the average consumer debt right now. The great thing is, as home prices have been going up, there's never been a time when there's been so much equity in people's homes that they could utilize to strategically consolidate that debt and have a much better debt plan. $9.9 trillion in available equity right now across America. So it's a huge opportunity for us to pursue the debt crusade, to do some amazing things. I want to show you real quick an example. I'm going to go very fast through this. This is a client, 35 years old, married couple that got some kids. Pretty average, right? You got 3 credit cards and a 30-year mortgage. They're about 20 years left that they got to pay on that. They're paying about $2,300 a month in total. And over the next 5 years, they're going to keep paying that monthly payment total in all of that. They're going to pay a ton of interest, and they're not going to make a whole lot of progress, okay? So let's move forward. If you get involved as a Primerica rep or a lending specialist in your base shop gets involved with that client, and they help them out, I put the interest rate at 5%. That's increasing their interest rate that they currently have. Who cares? You're changing their life with what you're doing right now. So all of a sudden, their new payment now for all of that debt, including their mortgage, $1,600. You're saving them $700. You can turn right back around and say, hey, now you can afford that life insurance policy that you absolutely critically need. Or you can turn around and talk to them about how they can invest that money, or they can have some more peace of mind. Either way, in our example, we took that savings, we had them invest it at an average rate of 9%. 15 years, all their debt's paid off, their mortgage is paid off, they've saved up almost $300,000 for their retirement. At that point in time, they got about 15 more years until they're going to retire. They're going to take all of that money they've been paying towards it, and if they invest the way that we've told them to, they can have close to $2 million in retirement just in that scenario. We're doing this stuff across the country all the time right now, and it's going to be huge throughout the decade of dominance. Great stuff. It's super exciting. So this is just, and I actually ran out of room here. There's others as well. This is a list or pictures of a lot of our reps across the country who have made over $100,000 with mortgages. A lot of them are making real big money. Most everybody on this screen, their securities business has increased, their life insurance business has increased. And it's just been a great thing. If you may have heard Rick Miller talk about it, just as an example. Rick was at 6 Diamonds when he started doing mortgages. And he credits that as one of the big reasons that opened up a lot of doors, and now he's at 1.2, so I had a lot of success there. But the magic of this, which is what I kind of want to end on, the magic of this is that everybody's doing it a little bit different. You got some who are 90% securities, they're not building a whole lot, they like to get in the weeds. Great, we've got a way that you can use our mortgage business to implement that strategy. You have others that got in, tried to do it, thought, hey, this is a really great product for my client, but I don't have the time to dedicate to get into the weeds of this thing. I don't really know a solution. We've got a solution where we can help you get a processor. We've got an amazing strategy that Shane just talked about, and we're going to go talk about here in just a second. As long as you have somebody in your hierarchy, in your base shop, who is mortgage licensed and can be that lending expert, your client, even if you're having them meet with a mortgage expert, the amount of cross-sell, the amount of opportunities, what you can do for that client as a team is unbelievable, and everybody's business will grow as a result of it. Let me just skip a little bit here just to get to the end. So I call to action for you in the last seconds here. So 2 calls to action. One of them is if you don't have an MLO, and some of you are MLOs and you're doing great things, if you don't have an MLO, a mortgage licensed, a mortgage loan originator in your base shop, you got to go get one. You figure out how to do it. We'll help you. We'll help you figure out how to do it, but you go figure out, get someone who's mortgage licensed that can take all those clients. And then the second call to action is to crank up your commitment to the debt crusade. So join it, recommit to it. Pour some rocket fuel on it, no pun intended. Actually, that was a pun intended. And go, when you're working on whatever you want to accomplish with your business in the decade of dominance, there is a way for you to be able to help that. Every single homeowner that's being met with in your base shop should have an opportunity to meet with that specialist. It's a 15-minute conversation. Let's take a look and see if there's something that we can do for you, help you retire earlier, help you buy a home. Most importantly, help you consolidate the debt that you have, tap into the home equity, and put a plan together that's going to help you be financially independent like we preach at Primerica, and we do better than anybody else. I promise you it will open up doors to allow your business to grow. You just got to pick the strategy to run with. We will help you figure out the best way to run with that strategy, whatever it is. And thank you so much for having me be here today. It's a pleasure to be here.
You did exactly. Okay, stay up here for a minute, okay? All right. I'm glad Nate was here. Who is glad Nate was here? Like they talked about, the mortgage is the most the emotional thing in somebody's finances. That's why we have to have people that can do it right, because you're kind of hand-holding those people. It's their biggest investment they've got, right? I did, years ago, I said there's going to be a point that we get big enough that all the biggest players in every part of the business is going to want to get access to us, and they're going to have to give us the best of the best to have that access. And this mortgage is a big part of that. Nate, when did we meet the first time? Well, this is our first meeting, but texting a week ago maybe, right? I'm using their licensing and what I've learned from them to revamp all of PFSU. Because of what they do, because they know everything. When he talks about, we'll help, you find the people in your base shop that you want to have a license and be the expert. It's unbelievable, the system they have in place. It's literally 1,000-fold better than what we have for life licensing. And so us meeting and what I've learned, we're able to apply that over there. But this is the coolest thing to talk about in financial services stuff is the mortgage business. People will talk to you about the mortgage. You don't have to have a mortgage license, but you can say, I know a guy. I know a gal that can get you in the back door, that can get you the best thing. It can lead to so many, there's a lot of benefits of you never doing a mortgage yourself, and 85 to 90% of the people in this room should never do a mortgage themselves because they're going to do something else. But the ones that are going to be the experts, like he mentioned, the people that are good at securities, and that's what they want to do their focus on, you're crazy if you're not in this business, if you're good at securities anyway. What we're getting ready to do right now, Nate, all the specialists that the RVPs, we've only been talking about this for a couple of weeks, Nate's going to go over and take all these folks that they might be licensed, but most of them probably not licensed, are going to go over into a breakout room, and he's going to take an hour or less, and he's going to teach you what you need to know, get you motivated with the facts about why it's good for you to be the expert in the base shop, and he's going to teach you what the process is to get a license. Then after that, who in here has a mortgage license? Okay, after that, those of you that want to do those mortgages, or even if you've decided now that you got your license and you got involved, okay, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want all that detail and all that stuff. You might want to go over to the second session he's doing, which is starting at 11:30, right? Or was. We're running late on stuff. That's same. He'll be over there. If you then want to know how to really grow your mortgage business and you're already licensed, he's going to do that. Have you met Sandy Vermeer yet?
Not yet, but we're going.
That's Sandy Vermeer right there.
Also, I should tell you, I've got a VP from Rocket Mortgage with me today, too, Bob.
Bob, come up here. Just come up here for a minute. You all need to know that you saw a guy from Rocket Mortgage. Good to meet you, Bob. We'll have some more conversations, okay? Wish we had more time, but we have rock stars that are helping us do what we're doing. And just tell them, I know you don't have a microphone, but you can yell into there. Are you open to doing anything that makes sense and doing it quickly of what we can come up with together?
100%.
Okay? I mean, we got that kind of cooperation. Good things are going to happen. Nate, thank you. It's good to meet you. So, those people are going to be mortgage specialists. We will have mortgage specialists that, as our mortgage loan originator, probably specialists. Those folks, not prospecting, not anything, just because of the base shop that funnels the business there, we'll start making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month just doing mortgages from going through the process, okay? Next speaker. So we've had our insurance, we've had our mortgages, next our investing. We do better than any place on the planet investing and managing people's money. It's economies of scale and educated clients. Our clients don't get out of the market. They don't panic. They're not trying to time. They invest and keep investing. And there's not anybody better to communicate that than our Harvard-educated attorney in the room. And he's going to come up and talk to you about our investing stuff and what makes us unique about that. So give Eugene a big round of applause.
So guys, we've heard now from John did a great job on the life insurance crusade. Would you guys agree with me? Right? We now again have a debt crusade in this country, yes? But let's not forget that this company was founded on what? Buy term and invest the difference. Look, let's be honest. 95+% of our clients are going to outlive their life insurance. Y'all understand that? So if you don't have a securities license, if you're not investing the difference, folks, you are not doing the morally and ethically right thing to do for the client. But what I need you to understand is that this crusade is bigger today than ever before. You know, I'm going to come back to these 3 kids in a second at the very end. I thought they might be watching, but they're at soccer games right now instead, right? That's way more important than Dad, right? But, you know, since David had his kids on, I was like, all right, I got to try to do the same thing. That didn't work out very well, right? But let's talk about the retirement crusade in this country. It's funny because David talked about the 3-legged stool last night. He kind of alluded to it, but we've gotten away from talking about it. You know, the reality is for a long time in this country, you could count on retirement from 3 different sources, right? There was pensions, there was Social Security, and there was personal savings. So let's start with pensions and see what's going on today. You know, in the 1970s, early 80s, there was the advent of the 401k plan. And the indirect impact of that is that companies started decreasing their pension funding because of the increase of 401k funding. So from the early 80s to 2008, you saw a huge decrease in pensions. But now it's getting even worse. They're projecting that of the 63% that still have a pension plan, which is very low, 63% of the existing pension plans will fade out in the next 5 years. So if you are relying on a pension to fund your retirement, the odds are it's probably not going to be there. So that's one leg down. Let's talk about the next leg, Social Security. Now, most of us have heard about this Social Security Trust Fund, yes? And we hear how it was going to run out in 2034. Well, because of COVID, it's now 2033. Now, let me be clear with you all. That does not mean Social Security will stop. It simply means that most people will get a 24% pay reduction in their Social Security benefits. Now, as you can see in this example, is that if you are currently relying on $1,500, your Social Security might drop to $1,100. If you don't have supplemental retirement income to offset that, how are y'all going to make it during retirement? Now, there's only a few solutions to this problem, by the way. One is to continue to raise the age. The second is to lower benefits or reduce them outright. Now, if we're going to increase retirement age, then guess what? That means you now need more personal retirement savings, because if you want to retire earlier, then that's the only part of the stool that's left. So now the question becomes, okay, well, if this is the only part of the stool that's left, why aren't people saving? Or what's going on with savings today? Folks, 70% of people are not on track for retirement right now, from a personal savings perspective. If that is not a crusade to get excited about, I don't know what is. But it gets worse than that. 48% of Americans age 55 and older have zero saved, y'all. How scary is that? And the average savings for somebody over 55, only $163,000. Now, if I just told you the Social Security age probably going to keep going up, benefits may get reduced, do you think there are going to be some people having to go back to work in their 70s and 80s unless we go out and fix that problem? Look at this, y'all. My highlights aren't showing up, but what you see right here is only 20% of people in this country have a Roth IRA, 28% have a traditional IRA. Do you think that's a problem we could fix with Primerica? So why don't people save? Fortunately, the highlights aren't working, but if they were, down here it says 2 major reasons why people don't save. Most don't have access to employer-sponsored plan, and there are some things in Congress right now that people are working on to try to fix that, to force all employers to provide it. The second, though, is they simply don't have anything to save. Now, I'm going to add a few other things to that as well. I think most people don't have access to somebody that can help them, or they're scared to invest. Does that make sense? Now, these 2 problems, we can fix at Primerica, can't we? See, if they don't have an employer-sponsored plan, that's why we can go sit down with them and for $25 a month start a Roth IRA. But for those that say that they claim that they don't have enough to save, that's why they have to sit down with us. Because through the life insurance crusade, if we can save them some money on insurances, that's more money they can put away for retirement. In the mortgage crusade, you just saw Nate show you all how we could have more money saved for retirement. See, we're the only people that can sit down with them one-on-one and show them how to fix those 2 problems. But what about the other 2 problems? The lack of education and the lack of access. Let's talk about the lack of education. You see, most people are scared to invest. Would you all agree with me? Because they remember 2008, or heck, they could just go back to this last Friday. The NASDAQ was down 4% in one day. I got excited because of what I'm about to teach you. Now, for some of you, you've never seen this concept called dollar cost averaging. And so for those of you that have never seen this, we're going to play a quick game. Let's pretend that you could be one of 2 investors, investor A or investor B. And you see both investors, they invested $100 a month for 6 months straight. Investor A, by the way, they got lucky. They chose the right mutual fund. It started at 10, it ended at 20. Investor B, not so lucky. As you can see, they started at 10, and guess what? Went down, ended up at 10. Now, for those of you that have never seen this before, by show of hands, how many of y'all would like to be investor A? And everybody goes, no brainer. Eugene, I'd hate to be investor B until I show you the next slide. And that is that investor A ended up with 42 shares at $20. That's $840. Investor B ended up with 126 shares at only $10, but that's $1,260. That's 50% more money, even though you thought you wanted investor A. So why does this happen? I teach clients all the time. I need you to remember 2 things. Number 1, don't panic. Because you see, the market does investor B over the short term, but over the long term, it always does investor A. But more importantly, as it goes down, think about this. What's everybody's favorite shopping day of the year? Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Why? Everything's on sale. Y'all think about this. If you love eating apples and you can get 2 apples for $1, and tomorrow you walk into Walmart and it's 6 for $1, what do? You stock up on apples, don't you? So if Apple stock goes from 200 to 100, what should you do? Stock up. But see, some of y'all are going, but Eugene, is there any guarantee that this will work and that it happens over time? What if I could prove to you that historically it happens every year? You'd go, well, Eugene, that'd be pretty cool. So let's talk about it. Now, I know this slide is super busy, but all I need you to do is take 3 takeaways from this slide. Takeaway number one. Everybody see the red dots on the bottom? That is what we call the intra-year low. That is the lowest point it went relative to December 31st the year before. If you average those, negative 14% on the S&P 500 every year. That means on average, every year the market drops by 14%, y'all. Observation 2 from this slide. Every year the gray bar is higher than the red dot, meaning in December 31st of that year, it closed higher than its lowest point. And observation number 3 is that 75+% of the time, 32 of the 42 years, the market did investor A, it finished positive. So if you knew that every single year the market would do B, but 75% of the time it did A, why would you ever be scared to invest your money in the market? The only reason is a lack of knowledge and understanding. But if you sat down with clients and showed them this is the only way you could fund retirement, and then you showed them this and explained it in those two simple terms, how many of your clients could start an account for $50 a month, or $100 a month, or $200 a month? So let's close with the last reason why most people don't save. And that's because they don't have access to somebody like us. See, we are the only company out there that can start a Roth IRA for as little as $25 a month. We're the only company that can do managed accounts, a high-level management for $25,000. See, normally you need $500,000 to $1 million in assets. But folks, if you're not licensed, you can't help them with that crusade. Does that make sense? Now, I started the presentation with a picture of my kids. I'm going to end with a simple concept for y'all. See, every one of those kids, they have what's called an UGMA account. And we just put away $100 a month into each one of those accounts. But y'all, listen to this. Over 67 years, $100 a month is $80,000 invested. At a 9% rate of return, every one of my kids is set up to have about $5.5 million by the time they get to retirement on $100 a month. And it's funny because Eli, the middle one, he's always like, Dad, how much money I got in my mutual fund account? I go, it's not yours yet. Wait till 67. Now, the reality is he can access it before then. But guys, think about how powerful that is. That on $100 a month, you could change a family tree's legacy forever. You see, that's the crusade we have our hands on. That's why all of you need to get a securities license, and that's why all of us should be talking about this crusade with our clients. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Shane.
Great job. Eugene, great job. What we do is so unbelievable. You know, it's been a kind of a crazy, hectic day, and we're going with it. But I have this shirt, right? More next win and freedom. Okay? I'll talk more about probably the back in a minute. A 24-year-old kid moved to Kansas City, was at nothing and nothing, and after a year got about 80 people in a room and said, all I'm going to do is get more people to the next thing. And every 90 days we had something like this. I'm going to get more people to the next one than we had at the last one. And we're going to win at that one. We're going to compete along the way. And we went from 80. David, this was the coolest theater. I know I'm getting torn down. But it had a theater that held 112 people. Then it had one that held 401. Then it had one that held 600. And then it had one that had 801. And we went in a series of events from about 80 in that first one to not completely filling up that second one. But by the fourth one, we had over 1,000 people, and the fire marshal called and tried to shut us down while Rick Susie was speaking at that. So I knew All I had to do is get more people to the next one, because at the next one, there would be somebody like Eugene that could explain things way better than me and way more efficient than me. There would be somebody, there's going to be all these people that could do it way better than I could do it. All I needed to do is get more people there, and then they would start doing the same thing, and then they would start doing the same thing. And he just reminded me of that right there. Our next speaker that's coming up, I just met this guy Thursday afternoon, I think, on a Zoom. And I wish I had more time. I just gave him my cell phone number, so we're going to get to know each other. He has an incredible background. I'm so thankful that he has been put in a position that our organization is going to, that he's going to be helping us with or assigned to. And I think he's going to come up and talk about the convention on More Next When. The biggest next is our annual convention. You can't explain that. When you got 50 or 60,000 people in the Mercedes Dome, and then you have all the top of the top of the top sharing. It's absolutely unbelievable. And I think that is what Mr. Flowers is going to talk about. I'm just glad that he's here, and we're going to get to know each other really well, and it's going to help all of our businesses grow. So give Mr. Flowers a big round of applause. Are you in Atlanta? By the way, do you live in Atlanta? Where do you live? You do, yeah.
Pleasure. How you guys doing? Awesome. So first thing I want to know is, has anybody made a big decision? Right? Are you guys committed? How many folks here are registered for convention? That's amazing, but it's not enough, right? Everybody needs to be at convention. If you made a commitment to be here, you need to make a commitment to be at convention, right? That's where everything's happened. That's where your business is truly going to explode, when you see this opportunity for what it really is. When you walk into that dome and 40 to 60,000 people, the environment, the energy that you'll feel will change your business for life. Is my PowerPoint on? Okay. So number one, everybody understands our vision for 2022, right? Right, this is our vision. It's your vision. This is how your business will grow and propel. So number one, I'm gonna show you the most amazing smile at home office, right? That's the number one smile here. I'm your field distribution director, field marketing director. I'm on the leadership team for CRM, the training and development for it. But overall, I am your liaison. I'm the key role of you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And what I also love to do at events, on Zooms and everything, is to remind you of the opportunity that you're in, right? The true earning opportunity, but sometimes we take that for granted. The success that you have, the success that your teammates is having year after year should propel you to that next level, right? Just last year alone, look at the amount of RVPs that were produced, right? How many future RVPs do we have in this room? So look at that sheer number. What that means is by 2023, you will be an RVP if you make that commitment in this business, right? Understanding the simple earning power of milestones, right? We had a total of 1,100 individuals. Let me get that in there. So you understand the money that is being made. Whose life has been changed by Primerica, right? Look at the simple fact. We had almost 1,100 individuals in the year of 2021 cross a milestone. But what's so beautiful about that is look at the income that was earned for that 1,100 individuals, right? Almost $116 million paid out just to those 1,100 folks, right? Do you want to be a part of that next group of milestone earners? Right? Where your whole family, everything changes from that year and it gets better and better and better, right? Understanding generational wealth starts with your ownership in this business, right? Look at the amount of ownership right now. 53% of RVPs have some sort of ownership. Make sure that you're fighting for that, because generational wealth is more than a t-shirt. It's more than a sweatshirt. It's tangible when you're in this business. right? Who knows how much the field made last month? That is right. Right? Understanding the income opportunity, knowing where the money is, it brings confidence. No more do you say, hey, I'm with this company, Prime America, right? You have to fight for the fact of what this business is, right? A lot of people say they bleed Primerica. You need to breathe it. You need to breathe it into life, right? Understanding the income that it is $99.8 million paid to the field just last month, right? A lot of the things that you've heard this month, all this in this event, it supports the fact of, look at securities, right? Month after month after month, securities is outperforming life. Now, keep in mind, we'll always be a life company, but understand where the money is and diversifying yourself to make sure you make that income, right? And then, of course, mortgages, right? Understand what we have coming next is DocuSign for IBAs, right? Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that seamless process? Right? So these are some of the Zooms. Again, it's a full rollout May 9th. Be ready for that. And there's plenty of Zooms to get you prepared for that. Right? All in April. Who in here is locked and ready to go to the Broadmoor? Wow. Right? Not many. Are you locked and ready for the Broadmoor? Right? Right? Simple, just as simple as that. Do you know in just a few days they're going to announce the next trip? Right, so you're continuously fired up to make sure where you're going. I'm sworn to secrecy to where it is, but again, just know, be ready. It's a very sunny, tropical place. So make sure you put yourself, you ready to go there. Right, so again, give me 1 second, come on. All right, so if you are 2 million points away from the Broadmoor, so what? You got a couple days left to get that 1 by 1 or 1 by 10,000 in securities to get that draft picked. The reason why you don't give up is you're not giving up on the trip, you're giving up on your team. You're giving up on your why, you're giving up on yourself. Fight for everything that you want in this business. That trip is not the prize, your business is. So make sure you're fighting for it and understand what every single incentive that we have put out there for you to grow your business. All right? Then of course, life licenses. Hopefully everybody's trying to fight to get that premium seating at the convention. Then we already kind of discussed the Broadmoor. I want to kind of scoot in. But again, we're going back to Atlanta. It's calling. Who's going to pick up that call? Are you ready? This is going to be an amazing, there's so many things planned for a convention. You just have to be there, right? Make sure you push yourself to get to Atlanta for that. Then, of course, RVPs, you are the circle of everything that's happening. You are the champions of convention. Make sure your teammates are registered, right? If you're having issues with that or figuring out who it is, you can simply go right there on POL. You can find out who in your base, in your hierarchy is not registered. And of course, we know there's a few people that, they stepped away from the business, whatever the case is. This is your perfect chance to get them back in the business. Pull that report up and make a couple phone calls. Make sure you're fighting to get everybody that you can at the convention, right? Do you want to walk across the stage? Are you fighting for that next milestone or that promotion? You have until June 7th, right? Push yourselves, making sure you get there, and then of course, know what your why is. Make sure your why pushes you to the convention. If it gets you there, it's gonna take you so much further, right? So it's been a pleasure to be here with you. I'm glad to be your teammate, and I'm gonna bring it back to Shane.
Look, if I have Mike Morris and Leroy go with me on confrontations, I think we're winning, right? Thank you, bud. I'm looking better to get to know you more. All right. We are, if you're new, recognition is the definition of a break in Primerica. Okay? You get a chance to stand up, move around, all that kind of stuff. We're getting ready to do some recognition. And like I said last night, we do that for two reasons. First of all, we like to build people up. When you do something good, we want to reward you. In corporate America, when do they remember your name? When you screw up and you get written up, right? Okay, we believe in pushing people up. And so we want to celebrate their success. And for people like me that was an ex-athlete, I was like a ship without a rudder for 2.5 years. And then when this thing was run just like a sports team and I had a chance to compete and win, I got some joy back. And I was really more about the competition, winning the competitions, than I was making the money. The money would just absolutely follow. So that's one, we want to build people up. Second is so you can see the backgrounds of the people and the cross-section of every walk of life that is having success at what we do. So as we're getting ready to start this, I need our greeters up here and our recognition, those of you that are reading the recognition up here. The people that are reading recognition, you know who you are. But then we also need Tim and Amanda Armstrong, David Baird, Adam Buchanan, Brandon and Kim Fuller, Martha Esperoza, and David Farmer. We're going to wear David out again. Also, where's our folks that are reading? Tom, Janine, all the people that are doing the recognition. So Tom, Janine, everybody that we had the recognition parts on. Here's your stuff. If you don't, here you go. That's the order. So who's doing promotions? Okay, you're doing promotion. Oh, we need her a microphone. Here's a microphone. There you go. So now Ryan.
Everybody ready? All right, we like a lot of energy. We're doing district promotions. Now, when you hear your name, run up here, high five, chest bump, do whatever you do. All right, pictures over here. All right, for district promotions, we have Ray Van Barris, virtual CSR. Ray Van Barris. Next up, we have Jamie Blair, district promotion, IT business analyst. Next up, District, Majine Klein, NASA Configuration Manager. Holy shamoly. Here we go. All right, next up we have Blossom Hayes, Retail Manager. Way to go, Blossom. Next we have Scott Anderson, Postal Worker. District Leader, let's go, guys. Big energy. All right, next we have Canyon and Tyler Howell. All right, next district promote, faster. All right. Next we have Jeremy Werner, FedEx driver. Rita Ailman, district leader. Next district is Irene Quaduo. How do I say that? But it's awesome. Irene, where's Irene? All right, guys, next we have Devin Jackson, former truck driver. District leader. Way to go, Devin. Next, we have Jennifer Merrill, former office assistant. I hope you're full-time. Next, district promotion, Mariana Aguilar. Woo! Next, district leader, Sierra Rain, Ryan's Oatman. Next, district leader, Sebastian Cortos, Golf Pro, turn district leader, let's go. Next we have Daryl and Robin Smith. Next, district promotion, Ashley Harris, retail manager. Way to go, Ashley. Next, we have the incredible district leader promotion, Lisa and Brady Bush. Next, district leader promotion, Rachel Hilton. Next, you're gonna hear these names a lot. We have the incredible Bonnie Mendoza, district leader. Next, former factory worker and ammunition plant, we have the unbelievable Michael Polson. Next district promotion is Tyrese Green. Way to go, Tyrese. All right, y'all, we're running up to division promotions. Let's roll, let's roll. All right, first division promotion is Ray Van Barris. That's 2 promotions. Way to go, Raven. Next division promotion is Sariana and Frank Byrie Jewelry Sales, now division leader. And the unbelievable division promotion for Brady and Jennifer Blake. Woo! All right, next division promotion, Corey and Kirsten Harper. All right, you heard her sister's name a moment ago. Next division promotion, Connie Mendoza. All right, last but not least, let's roll. Division promotion, Gabrielle and Justin Lusk. Woo! All right, guys, we're getting all the way to the top here. Now we're moving into regional leader promotion, 1 step away from, and we have another one. Hello, thank you. All right, here we go. I need everybody on their feet for division promotion, Kathleen and Peter Koss. Proud of you. All right, now moving into regional leader promotions. You heard from her yesterday. She was unbelievable, Kenya Williams. Proud of you, Kenya. Next, regional leader promotion, Tony Kiley. All right, regional leader promotion next, David Engelmeyer. Former owner, Youth Sports Organization. The next regional leader are the incredible Andrew and Crystal Fetter. All right, salon owner, Wells Fargo rep turned regional leader, soon to be regional vice president. We've got Nicole and Antonelli Jones. Incredible, guys. Incredible job. Promotions in motion. All right, next up we have Tellis. Tellis, you coming up? Bonuses. All right, take it away.
All right, this is for everybody who got paid with their fast start bonus. So coming in first, we have Bonnie Mendoza. Former occupation is a nurse. Next, we have a crime intelligence analyst, Tiffany Burgess. Come on, you can clap for the people that's getting that paycheck. Next, you have for the background of transportation, Mark Wilson. Next, we have the sprinkler installer, Tyler Howe. Now you have a former occupation of a therapist, Angela Burgess. Next, you have the former occupation being a server, Blake Connolly. Come on down. Now you have the next was a car salesman, Day Williams. Now you have the next was a nurse/warehouse worker, Irene and Mauricio Fedora. You have a teacher/softball coach, I believe that's Carla Smith. Come on down. You got next was a server, Gideon Nickerson. Physical therapist, Jordana Andrews. Associate OP coordinator with $650, Rachel Hilton. Got next an office worker with $750, Canyon Howe. Next, you got a truck driver with $750, Devin Jackson. You got a NASA configuration manager and software engineer with $750, Majon Klein. Next, you got Hospital CSR with $800. Connie Mendoza. Then you have a retail manager with $850. Blossom Hayes. You got a factory worker in ammunition plant with $850. Michael Posen. And you got a retail manager with $950. Ashley Harris. Now we get into those common checks. GM Car Dealership with $1,250. Lisa Bush. And we got the largest fast start bonus check, virtual CSR with $1,450. Raven Barrett.
All right, moving on to personal cash for future RVPs. All right, number 10, she was a special needs teacher, Rhonda Monaholen. Number 9, senior business analyst, Joan Crable. Number 8, retired administrator, Joyce and Ron Bacon. Come on, let's get loud. Number 7, there we go. Aircraft worker, Reston and Shannon Haynes. Number 6, salon owner and Wells Fargo rep. We've seen him up here, Chico and Nicole. Number 5 was a student, James and Julie Dice. Number 4, used to be a bookkeeper, Rodney Grease. Woohoo! Number 3, 26,000 in part-time income, used to be an accountant, Joshua and Heather Bowden. Number 2, used to be a student, soon to be going over 6 figures, David Rice and Haley. And there's only one number 1, part-time income, $31,000 over the last 3 months, VP of car dealership. We saw her yet last night, Donna and Craig Wilson. Congratulations. Good job, Donna. All right, moving on to 2 personal recruits in March. We're going to run through these. All right, the awesome Raven Barris, Erica Benson, Blossom Hayes, Shauna Livingston, Tiana Martin, Kalia Newton, Kiana Turner, and the awesome Kenya Williams. All of those were on Janine Anderson's team that had 2 recruits in March. Awesome. All right, in the Tim Armstrong Base Shop, Judy and Kim Barklage, Destiny Smith, and Jeremy Warner. In the David Baird team, Rita Ailman, Martha Esparza and Erica, Irene and Mariko. I am going to butcher your name. That name right there. Jason and Peggy Holden. In the Adam Buchanan team, Josh Driscoll, Jennifer Merrill, and Carla Smith. 2 personal recruits in March. All right. The awesome Aaron Heckert and Michael Morris. And the Carrie Cobb and Jamie Turney team, Molly Turney. All right. In the Rayana Diaz team, Jose Correz Hernandez. In the Martha Esparza team, Evan Bosloff, Joyce and Mike Franklin, Maria Rodriguez, Zulema, I met her a couple nights ago, Stevenson. Woohoo! In the Judy and Craig Easel Marshall Bass Shop, Tony Kelly. In the Hageman Bass Shop, LaConya and John Davis. Tyler and Autumn McFeeters. In the Hecker and Morris Bass Shop, Lisa Bush. Woohoo! Corey and Kirsten Harper. Rachel Hilton. Connie Mendoza. Mitza Polinice. I like that name. Polinice. In the Krupitsky Bass Shop, Clayton Bonner III, PJ. In the Nye Bass Shop, Tim and Kat Bradbury. Adam and Jenna McPherson. And Janine Henderson. You. Miss G. In the well, I guess she's her own RVP. Judy Easley Marshall. Tim and Amanda Armstrong. Jeffrey DeBose. And last but not least, Gabrielle Lusk. Congratulations.
Real quick, I make it difficult on them. They got to move the slides back and forth, man. Like I said, we try to push people up and make people feel special. I was telling David about just one experience I had years back. People coming up and they were getting T-shirts is what their reward was, right? And this guy was super emotional. I didn't know who he was. We have a quick conversation there, and then I made him, he wasn't real probably comfortable about it, but I interviewed him real quickly. Like an engineer, making a couple $100,000 at a company for close to 35 years, and he's in tears coming up getting a T-shirt. So I'd asked him before I got on the mic, what's up? And he had never been recognized for a positive thing in almost a 35-year career, and he's a guy that's making $200,000, right? So we believe in building people up. Our next thing, I talked last night, started this out. Nope. We'll get the right ones up there. But I started out talking about moving from financial independence to financial impact. And as I introduce our next speaker, it's important that I kind of set it up right. Because just like Greg and his daughter picking up the homeless person and them doing what they're doing there, Greg has the makings to be one of the most influential people in all of Iowa. And build important relationships that can make a difference. And I really want to start planting those seeds and how you can go from financial independence to financial impact, right? What difference do you want to make? You need to start thinking about what's important to you. You and your family, what's important to you? If money was no object and you wanted to make a difference in the world, okay, what's important to you? Start thinking about it. I want to open the reticular part of your brain so you just start looking. I want to give you a little bit of an idea, an example of what you can do, okay? Most everybody knows I was the founder of Animal Justice League of America, but that does save animals and hold people accountable, but it really got started because I was trying to protect my goddaughter, who through a crisis pregnancy centers that we had gotten set up, a long story, friends of ours sponsored a girl to go through and carry the baby to full term, and they adopted the baby, and I was the godparent. She was special needs, looks normal, but special needs, and so she was severely bullied in schools. And at age 11, school cameras, Blue Valley school cameras, catch a boy walking up behind her with his book bag. She's getting a drink at the water fountain, swinging as hard as he can. Hits her upside the head, knocks her to the ground. She had another incident, very similar, cracked her skull. Horrible situations, right? So they contact me, can we do something? Sure. Here's what happens. She gets expelled for the same amount of time as the boy on camera that swung a book bag. Yeah, but that's how it went. And then we found, as we started getting more involved, I started getting way more involved in her life. She was suicidal. We found all kinds of stuff written under her bed and in her closet about, I want to die, I want to kill myself, please don't make me go to school. You know, all this different stuff that we discovered, right? So I talked to the schools, we got to get that changed. But bottom line, it's almost impossible to change. Angered me, but I said, I'm going to do what I can do and see what we can find out about getting her help. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson flew her out to his movie set. Ronda Rousey, the UFC fighter, and Dana White flew her out to the World Championship fights. Ronda Rousey came and made a visit with her here in Kansas City. They would do all kinds of things to make her feel special. And then when I started talking to them about creating legislation to fix the bullying stuff, radio silence, right? Then, just through, I won't go through the whole story, I wind up rescuing a dog, and I find out what's going on in there, and I go, well, that's crazy how that works. Something gets posted on social media, and then I'm getting reached out, hey, if you need us to testify, to do anything, to help animals, just let us know. Blew me away, but you know how I'm wired. I go, wait, if they will do that for animals, and they won't do it for people, then why don't we harness the love of animals to help people, okay? And that was part of founding Animal Justice League of America, okay? The mission is to end abuse through real accountability, all abuse, right? Now I have time to go. It's protecting women and children. Our website's here. 71% of males 18 and older that are abusing an animal are already battering a woman in their life or abusing a child, okay? There's a lot of stuff that we do with all of this, but through it, we're creating new case law, okay? Creating new legislation. Oh, I'm just going to go ahead. We really don't have time. But my friend here sitting in the front row, we went through a 4-year court book. So what I do is we use civil law when criminal law doesn't work. So these people that do these heinous things, I go catch them. People point guns at their head, screaming, I'm going to kill you, you know. We've had offers for a gazillion television shows. We're not doing any of those television shows, but I did agree with A&E and Discovery that I did sign a deal with them if they'll do a professional docuseries. So that probably will happen where you'll see this stuff that's going on. But what we do is we hold these people accountable. We file lawsuits. I wanted to find the best attorney on the face of the planet to go after this because it's never been done before, right? So David Gregory, after some cajoling, decided to help us, and finally, almost 4 years later, we won $1.325 million lawsuit against a crappy dude on shooting a dog twice. We got him put in jail. When he got out, it's like a perfect case. You can't make it up. Within his first week, felony assault, battery of a woman. goes back away, gets out within the first week, felony assault, battery of a woman. So it just proves what they do to animals, and that's a long thing. But David, if it wasn't for David, we would not have won this lawsuit, right? Okay? So our attorney, David Gregory, okay? He's an investigative attorney, accountant, and in the House of Representatives. Actually, talk more about that. But he's the founder. His law firm, the Injury Council, is a faith first law firm. You don't find that very many places, right? Okay? Awarded one of the top 100 attorneys in the United States. When he was in the House, he was the freshman of the year at only 33 years old. I think might have been their youngest freshman of the year. Chairman of the Judiciary Committee. And he's basically the Primerica of politics, okay? And I like politics, I don't like politicians. But as an attorney here, I asked David to come just to open the reticular part of your brains so you will start seeing relationships in your community to make your financial impact and make a difference. Primerica already is what America dreams of becoming, right? Every walk of life, a chance to have success, freedom, all that kind of stuff. So he sponsors our legislation too, which there's a fun, good, long story in there. We've had communication with a few billionaires in Missouri. And if you read the papers, if you Google him, the billionaires in the country, in Missouri, second wealthiest African American in the United States, a few others, believe that this guy is going to be governor of Missouri. And I want you guys to start to see the people that you can help get what they are called to do, and in that have friends in good places to help make the world a better place. So this is his first time being exposed to anything at Primerica, right? So you got the chairman of the Judiciary Committee sitting in the front row watching me, right? And he's never lost a jury trial, ever, okay? So he's good at what he does, and I want you to get a chance to hear a little bit about him, and then we'll get on with the next thing. So give David Gregory, Animal Justice League of America's attorney and future.
Thank you. Thank you, Shane, for those kind words. I appreciate you all. Actually, Shane, come on back up here. I'm going to talk about you. Shane, come on back up here. I want you to stand up here while I talk about you for a second. Thank you all. Good morning. Thank you all so much for having me. My name is David Gregory. That was very kind of Shane. I promise to be brief. I just want to take a moment to talk to you guys and talk to you all about first off, how blessed I am to be here, but how blessed I am to have had some very early success in my career. And that's totally a God thing. It's totally a God thing. And I got to tell you, it's crazy. Early in my career, I decided to get back closer to God, right? And I got closer to God. I started praying for clarity. I got with Shane, and we started talking about how I can take my job, my career, right, and make it a ministry. It's unbelievable what that has done and how many huge things started happening for me. And that's a big thanks to Shane and him pushing me, in fact, begging me to go from a job to a ministry. But I got to tell you, folks, when I first met Shane, I wasn't sure what to think. I'm going to be honest with you for a second. Shane came to my law office. I mean, look at him. He's in all his fancy Louis Vuitton stuff. He's got his glasses and his beard, you know, and he's got all the confidence in the world, telling me the whole world's my oyster. And I'm thinking to myself, who is this guy? Right? I mean, is this guy for real? Is he just totally full of it? Or is he on to something huge for my life? And I thought about it, and I was already a believer. But having that encouragement made me say, you know what do I have to lose? I'm going to try. I'm going to meet with him again. I'm going to meet with him again. I'm going to take his calls. I'm going to keep meeting with him. I'm going to find out how I can help him. And in time, poor Shane, over 4 years, kept pushing, encouraging me to make what I do a ministry. And I am so proud today to say that I've had a lot of success at an early age because of that. And I'm so proud to call Shane a family now. Unfortunately for Shane, he's stuck. If Shane thinks he's ever not taking my call again, I'm going to show up to his house. I'm going to say, Shane, what are you doing? Why haven't you returned my call? So he's family now. He's stuck. But folks, I can tell you, it was really encouraging today to see that he's doing that same thing with you, right? He's not just talking about how you can go make money. He's talking about how you can make this your ministry. And that is so powerful. I can tell you what it did for me in just a matter of years. It gave me this source of energy, right? That energy that like a little kid has on Christmas Day. You can't make that up. That doesn't just come, right? That type of passion, that type of confidence, right? In my litigation, what I do, I have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a case out of my pocket. I don't get paid unless I win. It's a double whammy if I lose. And that gets scary. When you chase those multi-million-dollar cases, you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars of your own money. You're spending all your time for free for years, and you may not get paid. That's scary. But see, when it was a ministry, right, when it was bigger than I am, it made it easy. Still scary, but it made the decision easy. And I would not be here today but for what Shane has done to encourage me to make what I do in ministry. So I just want to close with this. I just want to ask you to pray for clarity. Very quickly, whenever you decide to do it, it takes 3 seconds. Pray for clarity. Pray for who you need to meet. Who is it that will be your Shane? Who will be your source of encouragement? Who is it that can help you get to that next level? Pray for that. And when it comes, my ask of you is to reach out to me. One of my ministries in politics is to use the relationships that I've been blessed with, those contacts that I have that I wouldn't have without my political career. I want to take those relationships and I want to use them to help you in your ministry. So please reach out to me. Pray for clarity. Figure it out who it is. And if it comes to you, and if I can help you, I will help you. If I can't, I'll tell you right away. I don't have contacts there. But I want to help you. And so that would be my encouragement. I just want to say thank you all for this time. And thank you, Shane, for what you've done for me.
Proud of you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love David. David knows. I tell everybody that David is my fifth child. Direct. You know, I have 4 plus a marriage, so I've got a daughter-in-law, and now I got an adopted son there. But I want you to understand, Casey, the power that you have inside of you. Greg Vermeer, the power that you have inside of you. The thing that I would tell you is, you hear me talk about the business, don't let your self-image bias your opinion to the opportunity. What I'm trying to plant with what that was is don't let your opinion about yourself biased or blind you to the opportunities in your community. We are going to change the world and make it a better place to live. It all starts locally, but man, you can do it. Figure out what you want to do, all right? Now, I'm so excited to hear we have worn this dude out, and I doubt he's probably impossible to wear out, but he is. We've abused him. I'm just being honest. We've made him, he's been nonstop since he's been here. And I'm just so thankful that he made the decision to be here. And I want to get him up here and just let him share. He's great at teaching how to do what we do. And so give another big round of applause to David Farmer. Thank you, buddy. What time's this flight?
All right. A couple things before I get started. That's incredible, David. I mean, listen, how many of you wish all attorneys were like that right there? You're the leadership that this country needs. I'm telling you. I mean, your law practice, all that. There's a whole nother world out there that needs somebody like you to do it. And it's going to be fun watching your journey. It is. I'll be watching from Houston. I'll be watching your journey. I'll remember your name. That's easy to do, man. So listen, it is. But, you know, what Shane was just talking about was you see people up here and you think, man, this person, Eugene's, he was Harvard, he's this, and all that kind of stuff that could really intimidate you. You know, I think, when Dave was talking about pray for clarity, it was a while back, I prayed for God to put people of excellence in my life. You know, and I wanted people of excellence in my life. And I didn't know what that looked like. I just knew if I wanted to go to another level, I wanted to have people of excellence, you know, there with me. And I can remember, you know, when Shane, I'm glad Shane just brought that up, you know, talked about, you know, we limit ourselves sometimes of, well, oh, can I do it? I cannot be like that guy. I remember I got into business, and the first week I was in the business, I went into the office, our office, and they had new recruits coming in and everything else, and the Channel 9 weatherman was there. They recruited the weatherman in my hometown in Cincinnati. And I thought, man, how could I ever do this? Here's this guy's on TV, he's the weatherman, he's this, and I'm this. What do I know about this? And it almost knocked me out of the business. I mean, seriously, I almost said, man, I don't belong here. How many of you ever felt that way before? Be honest, man. Look at the hands go up. Listen, man, if you can't feel that way anymore. Does that make sense? You look at guys like myself, you look at guys like Shane, and you should be thinking, man, if those guys can do it, I can do it. Those guys can barely speak right, man. Those guys don't even know what to, I mean, Shane and I have a lot in common, you know, from our past, I'm sure. But, you know, so you think about, if you sat through this today and you looked at what Eugene did with the investments, and you look at the debt situation, you look at all that kind of stuff, and you still don't believe that what we do is right, there's an issue, man. There is. But here's the thing. You could still doubt it. I got a couple of bulging discs in my neck. I've had some kind of neck issues for a while. I'm always, you know, like this, just part of it. So somebody told me, you need to go get a MyPillow. You may see MyPillow, right? You know the MyPillow guy. He said, you need a MyPillow. And I said, well, let me check it out, man. And I never am the guy that like reads reviews or does research on. I don't do any of that stuff. Let me check it out. Let me see what they say. So I'm reading these reviews on MyPillow, right? Some of the pillows are like worst pillow ever, like sleeping on a rock, waste of money. Don't blow your stupidest, dumbest pillow. Don't ever buy this pillow. And then the other reviews are greatest pillow in the world. It's like sleeping on a cloud from heaven. Best night's sleep ever. So I'm reading all this stuff and I go, well, what am I supposed to believe? What's the only way to figure it out? Buy it and try it. Buy it and do it. So when you say, you know, and I still doubt, you know, these things and everything else, what do you got to do? Dig in and do it. Dig in and do it. Go on appointments, see people, put this thing to action. You know, we've talked a lot. I mean, I talked for 2-3 hours yesterday, you know, but today I want to just kind of really just close with some things that I really think can help you in the business, okay? How many of you agree after this weekend it makes sense to build a team? You got to have a team in this business. You know, there's a lot of cowboys and cowgirls that try to do this thing on their own, right? You saw my son yesterday, my oldest son. He's 14, but when he was 11 years old, he used to take Taekwondo, right? He used to take Taekwondo. And he was getting his black belt when he was 11 years old. And part of his testing for the black belt, Shane, he had to run 2 miles in 20 minutes. This was a 10-minute mile. But for an 11-year-old, that's, some of us like, I might run 1 mile in 20 minutes, right? But he had to run 2 miles in 20 minutes. And so I would take him to the track, and I would time him, you know. I would time him, and I go, all right, champ, let's go, man. So he'd go. For like a month, we practiced this. And every time it was like 23 minutes, 25 minutes, 27 minutes. Not one time did he do it in 20 minutes. So then the day come with the test. They come with the test where he had to go do it that day. And when they did it, there were 6 other kids that were getting their black belts. So all 7 of them ran together. You know what they did 2 miles in? 17 minutes. Why could he do it in 17 minutes? He did it because what? He had people around him. He had people with him. He was running with a group. He was running with his guys. I'm telling you, I look at the teams up here, and I look at you guys getting promoted, and I look at your teams coming up here and the support that you have for each other. Man, you don't get that anywhere else. Anywhere else. But I think there's three things we got to do. One, you got to be a hard worker, right? If you're not a hard worker, we can't train lazy, okay? You got to be a hard worker, all right? Second thing, you got to have a system, which your regional vice presidents all have a system. And the third thing, you got to have some accountability. Those three things. Hard work, have a system, have accountability. And listen, everybody needs accountability, just nobody wants it, right? How many of y'all have a personal trainer, right? How many of y'all have a personal trainer? I got a trainer. I go see him like 2 days a week, right? And how many of you ever like, I do not want to go today to see the trainer, right? Like I gotta go, I'm cussing him all the way to the gym and everything else, right? But do you think he cares? He don't care that I hate him. He don't care what I do because he knows if I listen to him, I'll love him. Right? Sometimes that's what it is. You got to look at that as things. So you got to have accountability. You got to figure it out. And there's a big difference between discipline and desire, right? People say you got to have the discipline to wake up early. You got to have the discipline to go to the gym. You got to have the discipline to do that. Listen, you can be disciplined, but you got to have desire behind it. I had a guy in my base shop. It's crazy. He was always late to the meeting in the morning. Anybody ever have those guys when you got morning meetings? And there's always one guy that's always late to the meeting. And I kept telling him, man, you got to get more disciplined. You got to wake up early. You got to do this, whatever it may be. And he just was every single day, he just kept showing up late, Greg. So then all of a sudden, he had a little crush on this girl in one of the other offices in the building. And our meeting was 9 o'clock in the morning. Our meetings were 9 o'clock in the morning, and she showed up to work every day at 8:30. And he had a little crush on this girl, and he was trying to chase this girl. So all of a sudden, now he was showing up on time every single day. Every single day, he would show up at like 8:15, 8:20, because he would want to park right next to her, catch her on her way in, and everything else, right? Had nothing to do with discipline. It had everything to do with desire. Does that make sense? So there's a big difference. You can have great discipline, but you got to have a desire to do so. You have a desire to be successful. You got to have a desire to help people. There's a big difference in that, right? So I don't know if that makes sense or not, right? But it is. And when I coach my kids a lot, when I coach baseball, I love coaching the kids that are gamers. And I'm not like video games, right? But a gamer. A gamer is somebody that wants to be in the game. They want the ball. You don't even have to say it. They're ready. See, you got to become a gamer in Primerica, where you want to be on appointments. You want to be in the game, right? You can't be allergic to activity, okay? You can't be allergic to activity, right? You want to become a gamer in this thing. And if you're a district leader, division leader, regional, if you're a district, division, regional, be a district leader. Don't just be a district. Be a division leader. Don't just be a division. Be a regional leader, right? Don't just be a regional. Okay, so I'm gonna go through a couple of things with you here. And listen, I think, things that leaders look for, when we're looking for people, obviously we want to look for people of good character, right? How do we know if people have good character? You got to spend time with them, right? You got to hang with them. You got to see how they treat their family. How are they with their kids? How are they in public? I take people to lunch all the time. I'm always having lunch with people. I want to see how people treat the waiters, how they treat the waitresses and everything else. You want to build a team with people of great character, right? People that have a desire to win. People that are sold out to the Primerica system. People that are money motivated or hard workers or have a positive attitude. You got to have people that have a vision, right? That have a vision for something. I can remember when I worked on cruise ships. This was back in the 90s, right? Back in the day. Think about this, Shane. I've never been to Dubai. Anybody ever been to Dubai? Somebody ever been to Dubai? Everybody knows where Dubai is, right? It's like this crazy place, this magical place. On the cruise ships, all these people were coming to the cruise ships, trying to recruit people from the cruise ships to go to Dubai back in the 90s. Because they wanted to open up hotels, they wanted to do this and everything else. And most of us were like, you want us to leave the Caribbean and go to the desert? And I remember we sat through meetings, and they had this big pictures of what the desert's going to look like one day and all this. And we're like, no, you understand, I'm on the beach right here. I like that sand, not that sand. Right? And some of us like, I'm not doing it. And I know some guys that went and did it. and became mega successful. They were there at the beginning of. They saw the vision that I didn't see sometimes. You know, so some of you, like, listen, this was my team. This was our team when we become regional vice presidents. Okay? And some of you, that's how many people you have on your team right now. That's how many people you have in the meeting with you right now. You understand? We all start somewhere, right? We all start somewhere. So listen, your business and everything can change that fast. We took that team right there, that team of 6 people right there, right? That team right there, we in 6 months we built a $30,000 base shop. That was a convention in 2005. We just went RVP in 2005. We gave up our entire team. We moved to Texas, and that was our team in Texas. 2 years later, we were the #1 regional vice presidents in the entire company. And we spoke at the convention in 2007. My son was just born. So we went from 4 people to we had over 140 people at the next one. See, that's going to be your story. Some of you are going to go into the convention. Some of you got 4 people here right now, right? You're going to have 20 people at the convention. You're going to have 100 people at the next event that you do in August or whenever it is. You understand? It's just going to what? More next what? Win. You get more people to the next event, and you will win. All right, so let me give you a couple of things. 5 A's of the business, and there's always ways to do this. One, you got to have incredible attitude, right? You got to have a positive attitude and a winning attitude. All right, how many of you grew up where that was not in your household? Right, I made a commitment that every year every year I fly back to Ohio and spend my grandma's birthday with her. Her birthday's March 9th, so every year I fly there the day before, I go spend her birthday with her, and I fly the day next to her. And my grandma does nothing. She's on her own. She does nothing but watch news 24 hours a day. How many of you got grandparents like that? That's all they do, watch news 24 hours a day. It's like the most depressing day ever. But she likes me sitting next to her watching the news so I can hear her complain about Biden. I can hear her complain about everything else. Right? I can hear all that stuff, right? Listen, man, you can't, I'm like, got to get out there and like take 10 showers, man, to clean myself off from all of it. Listen, if you got people like, listen, getting better, self-improving and getting better is going to take everything you have. You ain't got time to mess with people that are lazy. You ain't got time to mess with people that are negative. All right? So second A is what? Second A is your activity. You got to always know how much activity you need, right? You need to know what? How many recruits you got to have, how many production, what's your licensed agents. You got to have activity every single day, but you got to have activity that's going to lead to results. I think the only results in Primerica is recruits, premium, and cash. That's it. Every single day. Did you get a recruit? Did you get premium? Did you get cash? Every single day. I don't care how it goes. So all the activity that you do, your daily activity, your interviews, your appointments, whatever it may be, it has to lead to results, right? I never focused on the result. I focused on the activity. I focused on the activity because I knew it was going to lead me to the result. But I wanted to go to bed every night and I either recruits, premium, or cash, every single night. Third thing we talk about attendance, right? Are you plugging into everything? Because I tell my guys, if they're not plugging in, you ain't got them. You can't help people that don't show up, right? So attendance is big, Are they plugging into all the live meetings, right? Is your camera on, right? On the Zooms, is your camera on? You can't build a team if you don't have them. I use attendance to flex my business. I really do. Every time my full-timers, I go, Wednesday night when we have training, that's your chance to showcase the growth of your business. Are you winning this week more than you won last week? And some of you, it's going to start small. It might be 2 people, then it's 3 people, then it's 5 people, then it's 8 people, then it's 10 people. If your activity is growing, I promise you your business is going to explode. Next thing is accountability. We talked about it. Nobody likes it. Everybody needs it. How often do you talk to your trainer? Do they know your goals? They know they have permission to coach you tough. Understand, this is not a boss-employee deal. This is a coach-player relationship, right? So here's the thing. If it is a coach-player relationship, understand if you're the player, you want to be the player that the coach wants to coach, right? But if you're the coach, you also want to be what? The coach that the players want to what? The players want to play for, right? So you got to be able to get coached tough and don't be afraid of it, right? And then the last thing is what? Just appearance. I tell my guys is how you dress is how you will be addressed, right? I got guys coming in and still, you know, baggy pants and all this stuff, all these young guys, and I go, I know your hoodie's cool, right? But you may need to change it up a little bit, right? Be a young professional, you know? And I think appearance is big, man. How do you carry yourself? If you tell people you're expanding, you're growing a business, do you look that way, right? Do you play the part, right? Should somebody follow you? And listen, I mean, it's just 5 little things, man, that I wanted just to throw in there that just maybe 1 or 2 of those things, like, man, I need to get better here. I need to get better at that I need to improve on. You know, and we were talking yesterday about, you know, making 6 figures. You know, 1 in 25 people in Primerica makes a 6-figure income, which still is unbelievable, and it's just getting better. A couple years ago, it was like 1 in 30 people. Now it's 1 in 25 people. And with all the stuff's coming up with the company, it's going to be even faster, right? So you think about somebody asked me yesterday, when should I go full-time in the business? I say you go full-time when your job's in the way of Primerica. And what I mean by that is if you have to go to work and make $200 when you could have went on an appointment and made $500, now your job is what? Your job's in the way of Primerica. You need to go full-time and do this. But I think about making $100,000 a year. You know, one of my guys broke it down. His wife, I recruited one of my kids that I coached. I recruited his mom. She was going DoorDash, and I go, man, you ain't doing DoorDash. Come here. I'm going to teach you. You're not going to do DoorDash no more. She had like 3 kids, and she's out at night doing this little baby. I said, no, you're not doing that. So I recruited her. And she was working in a medical office, and her doctor was never paying her enough money, whatever it may be. And she came on board. She came on board and, like, got licensed, made like $300-400 her first night out. And her husband goes, we can do this every day. You know, we do this every day. So they put a game plan together. Go, if we make $300 a day, we make $100,000 a year. And I say, you're right. You know, I said, let's figure it out. If you want to make, can you make $300 a day? How many of you want to make $100,000 a year? How many of you want to wear this ring? Right? Everybody in the room wants to wear this ring, make $100,000 a year. And listen, $100,000 a year, we think $100,000 is a lot of money. $100,000, you're going to spend $100,000 no different. You will still be broke in $100,000. You'll just be broke with nicer stuff. Okay, seriously, you'll be broke or nicer, but you'll still be broke at $100,000. You'll still spend everything you got in $100,000. You just might have a couple nicer things. But think about it. If you want to make $100,000 a year, all you got to do is make $300 a day. And how you make $300 a day? One life insurance policy. You're a brand new district leader with us, just got licensed, and you just help one family, you make $300 a day. How long does it take you to do that? An hour? Some people don't even take an hour to do it right now, right? What if you train 2 people? If you train 1 or 2 people to help one family, you make $300 just in what? Just in overrides. Okay, not including, you know, other products, other stuff, man. Listen, how many of you in the next 12 months truly believe with everything in you can make $100,000 a year? Every one of you could. But you can't do that if you got to go to work and make $100. If you're going to work and make $100 and you could have made $300, you need to what? You need to just make that jump. And don't be afraid to do that. Don't be. I one time somebody told me, I did a school one time, and I always tell people, I go, if you want to be successful here and make it big, you're going to have to go full-time into business. You're going to have to, at some point, quit your job, go all in, and go full-time. And so later on, this guy, I guess, did it, right? I guess did it and failed at the business. And I recruited a guy one time, and he quit, and he gave up. He said, yeah, I read something bad about you on the internet. I go, what you read bad about me on the internet? And he showed it to me, and it was a thing. Some guy had wrote on there, I was at an event, David Farmer told me to quit my job and go full-time in Primerica, and I didn't make it. Don't listen to him, whatever it may be, right? I'm telling you, if you want to be in regional vice president at some point, you're going to have to go full-time into business. You're going to have to burn the bridge at some point and go, listen, I'm not going back. Because here's the thing. I think you can make $100,000 simple here. I'm never going to say it's easy, but simple. But how many of you want to make $1,000 a day? Right? Think about this. How many of you want to make $1,000 a day, $30,000 a month? Check this out. $30,000 a month. What do you got to do? Build a team what? Build a team that can help 40 families a month, which I know that seems crazy to think about building 40 families. How do I help 40 families a month? Right? How do I help 40 families a month? Some of you are like, that's just way too. How do I do that? Let me show you. Don, come here. Don, come here. All right. Come here. Aaron, come here. Jody, come here. Eugene, all right? And Jim, come here. Just stand right here, these guys, all right? So I've got these 5 guys that I'm working with. I got 5 people on my team. If all these 5 people, if all we do is help 2 families a week, can he help 2 families a week? Can she help 2 families a week? They help 2 families a week. All they got to do is help 2 families a week. And they can build a team to do it if they want to. It doesn't matter. Now, what's our office helping? 40 families in a month. And 40 families in a month will pay you $30,000 a month. Is that killing it? Are we killing it? No. They're helping 2 families. He's part-time. And he's helping 2 families. He's built a team that helps 2 families a week, and it pays you $30,000 a month with this business right here. Every one of you, and then this, I'm not trying to hype you up. I'm trying to wake you up. This is not hard. You're the one who thinks it's hard. You're the one that's already psyched yourself out and go, I can never help 40 families. I'm not going to help 40 families. But I can train 5 people to help 2 families a week to help make 40 families. Okay? I'm telling you, this is closer than you ever thought it was. There's no reason over the next 12 months, 18 months, none of you can't build a business that you can't find 5 people to help 2 families a week. Are you kidding me in today's world? How many of you want your business to look like? You really believe you can build this little right here. You can build this little crew right here in the next 12 to 18 months. Every one of you could, all right? So thank you guys for going. So I don't know, man. Listen, whoever's counting you out don't know how to count. All right, if you got people counting you out, they just don't know how to count. Listen, some people are good at the business. Some people are good at building the business. Right? We got a lot of people that's good at business. We got a lot of people that's good at building the business. But think about 30 grand a month. Here's what I want you to do sometime tonight. Doesn't matter, do it tonight sometime. I want you to write $30,000 at the top of a piece of paper, and I want you to spend it. I used to do this all the time, man. When I was a district leader, division leader, and I was just starting out, I had a goal of making $1,000 a day, $30,000 a month. That was my goal. So I would write it out, man. I would write $30,000, and I'd write at the top, and I would spend that money. I would go, how am I going to spend it? What do I got to do? So let's say you spent $3,000 in taxes, right? Making 30 grand a month. Making 30 grand a month and only spending 3 grand in taxes is pretty good. Okay, pretty good. All right. Let's say you tithe, give 3,000. How many people know churches or organizations that could use 3 grand a month? Right? What if you saved 5 grand a month? You know, if you saved 5 grand a month for 10 years, you're a cash millionaire. What if you had a $300,000, have a $500,000 house? I don't know what houses are up here. If you had a $500,000 house, be about 3 grand. 2 cars, right? Maybe you had $2,000 worth of cars that you could write off. $2,500 in bills, 2 grand to entertainment, put your kids in private school. You have a second home or travel, $500 to take care of the house, and you still got $5,000 left over. And all you got to do is find 5 people to help 2 families a week. And how many of you, that's a dream life right there for you? If that was coming, you could live the dream right there with that. See, I'm telling you, you're closer than you think, and you don't even know it. Okay, but that's me spending my money. I want you spending your money. How would you break it down? Some of you could save 10 grand a month if you were making 30. Be a cash millionaire in 5 years from now and get free. Connie, you realize, you understand how you're 12 months away from that right there? Your team right there, 12 months away from that, you could have that. But here's what you want to do. Here's what I want people to do. I always do this. It's called a path. Anytime I want something, or my kids want something, or whatever it may be, I always draw this out, okay? Whatever it is going to take, you got to do something to stay on the path, okay? So let's say your goal is to become a regional vice president. If your goal is to become a regional vice president, your goal is to get your investment license, right? Your goal is to recruit 10 people, write 10,000 premium, whatever it may be. Here's what you got to do. Check this out, okay? If RVP is the goal, then what do you have to do? What do you have to do to stay on the path? What do you have to do, right? You got to what? You got to prospect, recruit, field train, get licensed, self-improve. But what's going to get you off the path? Your friends, hobbies, social media, all that kind of stuff will get you off the path, right? If you want something bad enough, can you get off the path? No, it's like Houston. I don't know if you know Texas at all, but Houston, there's I-10. I-10's a highway that runs all the way across Texas. From Houston to San Antonio, it's 2 hours, 2.5 hours straight on I-10. Just get on I-10 and you're right there. What if I started getting off on every exit on the way to San Antonio? How many hours would it take me to get there? Take me hours. I can get there 2.5 hours. But if I stop at every Buc-ee's or I stop at every place and I stop at every exit on the way there, it'll take me, who knows how long it'll take me to get there. See, that's what's happening with you guys. It's right there. You know what you got to do. You're just what? You're just getting yourself off track. Okay, so listen, this stuff I'm talking about is just trying to help you guys understand that you're closer than you think. Don't spend 1 second thinking about losing. My family don't spend 1 second thinking about losing, man. I can't let that creep in, man. And just ask yourself, how successful are the people in your life that are telling you that you can't do this? And just ask yourself, do you want what they have? Or do you want what Shane has? Do you want what Tom has? Do you want what the Nyes have, the Hagemans have? Do you want what the Beards have? Do you want what Don has? Do you want what they have? Because all I knew is I knew what some people had what I wanted, and I did it. Yeah, I'm telling you what, and to kind of close things out, I want to piggyback on what Shane talked about this morning in the Beyond the Biz meeting. One, I think you got to keep praying and you got to keep playing. When Shane talked about, would you give the business up for God? If God told you to give the business, whatever it may be. And I'm going to tell you what I did, and I pray some of you do that. When I became regional vice president, I moved to Texas, opened up a new office, and didn't know where my world was going to go. This is God's honest truth. I was in the office day one, the first day we moved in our office. I was in there by myself, and I got on my knees behind my desk, Shane. And I said, God, take Primerica from me right now. I said, take it. I said, God, I want to work and not worry. God, I'm handing you my Primerica business. So when Shane was talking about getting out of the business, no, it's handing. I said, God, I'm handing you my Primerica business. Whoever you put in here is supposed to be here. Whoever you take out is supposed to be out of here. And I'm telling you, that was a weight off my shoulders. So all I had to do was just now what? Work and not worry. And over the last 15, 16 years, God's put incredible people in my life, and he's taken people out of my life that didn't need to be there. Okay? And I've had some people that leave, and I said, God, don't take that one. I like that one, right? I wanted them to stay around a little longer. But then I remembered, I prayed, God, take whoever's supposed to be out of here. Take them out of here. They're not supposed to be here. Whoever's supposed to be here. I think some of you need to do that. Because it'll wear you out. It's exhausting. You need to work and not worry. And God will bless your hard work. I promise he will. I promise he will. You've got so much. It's incredible what you got ahead of you right now. I was watching the NFL draft, right? And I recruited my neighbor, was a pro football player a couple years ago, got to RVP in 10 months. I mean, just was a stud. So I was sitting down with a lot of pro football players. And what I noticed about these players, the guys in the first rounds, they get big money. The guys get drafted first round, they get big money. The guys that get drafted later on down, they don't make money. They may make $300,000-$400,000 a year, league minimum, whatever it is. But every player is working for what? Every player is working for that second contract. Every one of them. So they might be, they might make $400,000 or $500,000 a year their first 2 to 3 years, and if they prove themselves, then they get a what? Then they get that second contract. I remember J.J. Watt in Houston a couple years ago was making just a couple $100,000 and was the best player in football. But his third year came up where his second contract came up. He signed it for $100 million. See, some of you got to earn that next contract. Some of you got to prove yourself as a district, prove yourself as a division, prove yourself as a regional to get that next contract, right? And some of you are going to do that. You understand? So I can't wait to see who crosses the stage at the convention. The convention's going to be off the charts. That is the next big event, and it will be life-changing. That's not something, we don't just throw that word out there, life-changing. It will be life-changing for you, right? So my prayer for all of you, is that you work and not worry no more. Hand your business to God. God's blessing Primerica, so why would he not bless your Primerica? Okay? Listen, it is, when Shane asked me to be here, it was, like I said, anything Shane asks, it's not even a when, where, whatever. Yes, the answer is yes. When you have respect for somebody, and Shane and I we don't talk, we don't do that. For years I've known Shane from afar. We've had a relationship over the last 10, 15 years, but we know each other afar. But I love him. I love so many of you in the room that we've done some incredible things together, but we're just getting started. You got to feel that way. How many of you feel after this event like I'm on the ground floor of something that's about to go crazy? It's like David said, is this crazy or is this something incredible about to happen? So you got to go for it, and you got to be crazy enough to go for it. You got to believe in it and be crazy enough to go for it. And I think we're all crazy, right? I think we're all a little crazy, right? So, guys, listen, it's been an honor hanging out with you last couple of days, man. I just, hopefully that I was able to share some things with you that help you get your business to a whole nother level, because you deserve to be at another level, all right? So appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Let's give him another round of applause. Woo! David, I appreciate so much your foundation, and you're so fundamentally sound in so many different areas, And so everybody, I know so many of our guys have spoke about the workshops and how all those fundamentals, it's like so great to hear from somebody else. Would you guys agree with that? Those workshops were amazing. And so we sure appreciate that in a big way. And Shane, you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, again, it was literally when I asked, I call Aaron our talent coordinator, when we're looking at who we're going to have come in and do some kind of speaking. And in the Zoom world, everybody got used to, that's easy. Sure, I can do that. Sure, I can do that. Sure, I can do that. And then when you're asking somebody to actually give up their time, fly, and do all of that kind of stuff, it's a whole nother level. And so when I asked David, it literally was it was probably a minute, but it seemed like it was seconds, and it was yes. I need to go back through my text. I'm going to show people that. I'm going to save that text and show people that. That's how quick he did that. And the only way that we can, look, if we really want to pay him back, we need to make a significant bump and growth from him being here, right? So that's one thing we need to do, is finish up our month strong. Last night, and things have gone a little different than planned, but anybody that's competitive loves that William Wallace part, right? And dying for freedom. And we got something else for him, but I wanted to give him one of our More Next Win shirts. We'll probably give it to a few other people yet today. And on the back, it's got the most important part of that speech, And actually what I'm thinking is that I want to have this stitched into those leather jackets that we're making, that we're doing. And I think it's going to be really cool, but I wanted to read it one more time. I fight and you may die, run and you will live, at least a while, and dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take away our lives, but they will never take our freedom. That stuff is just, so this will be a sleeper for him and Jax because it's an extra large. I love you, brother. You help some people. And as Nyes have got some.
Okay, a couple things, two things. One is that I so appreciate your foundation of, you can just tell by the way you exude yourself, you're at great spiritual peace.
Yep.
You come across so great, you're so believable, and we appreciate your time away from your family to help us. One of the things that we've noticed is that people that come and give of their time, what happens to their business is we somehow, by blessing us, your business is going to explode over $1 million just like that, just because of being able to share other things. Somehow, good
Well,
Lord
make
works that,
happen.
right?
Yeah, take that word, right? Accept
And
that
then,
one.
as a token of our appreciation, we're going to have this sent to you. But this is a special saber. It says, and so Shane, read what it says on it.
I'll cut myself to death, right? David and Jack's Farmer, if you build it, they will come. Okay? It's a pretty cool saber. That's like a legit deal.
A special saber. So,
We appreciate you. We love you. Give him a big
Don't know
round
if
of
you-
applause. Okay. We're getting ready to do some more awards, and then you're going to hear from our MVPs. By the way, did Tom Rice light it up yesterday afternoon, or did right? And he's going to be our last MVP. But so we got those of you that are doing the awards now. Read those out, and I'm probably not organized enough to know. There's second recognition. David, can we talk you into standing up here and hugging a few more people? And I'll hug a few more people, and we'll let them start reading awards. And so Jeannie's microphone. This is the second half. She changed some lives last night, yes?
All right. This is the fun part, recognition. But first we're gonna recognize and we're gonna put up here on the slide all of the people who got licensed. So make sure you stand where you are and wave your hands in the air like you just don't care so we can see all those people who put those jerseys on. Let's wave them high. I know it's some back there, hey. And while we're waiting for everybody to get in position, you all, Wayne Olson, we need you to the stage. We have a birthday in the back, Keanu, and I want to tell her happy birthday. Brand new person in the business, licensed and rearranged her schedule to be here. That's huge, Keanu. You're going to be stud. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna recognize first is Personal Life Premium, okay? So number 10, we have Lunde Lichty. Woo! Yes, number 9, Tabitha and Michael Melvin, former school teacher, yes. We have Taylor and Sharice Bolton, better known as Prime Time. Pastor is his profession. We have Zulima Stevenson, number 7, retail sales. True Studette, yes. We have Kenya Williams, number 6. You heard from her yesterday. Most definitely was writing some premium. You have yours truly, number 5, in personal premium. I'm a former school teacher. We have another Studette. Thank you. We have Kalia Newton, healthcare administration. Let's go, Kalia. We have the popular and famous Casey and Jennifer Coring, another beautiful couple, a bartender. We have the beautiful loud speaker, Bo Martha Esparza. But as you know, it's only one number 1, right? So we got Nicole and Antonia. Wait, let me get this. Antonella Jones. Is that Chico? Hey, Chico! Yeah! All right. So now we got District Leader Premium. Number 10, Rhonda Davis. She's a realtor, you all. We got Rhonda. Number 9, Hashina Webster. Okay, Business Development Specialist. Where you at, Hashina? We got number 8, the bold and courageous Tiana Turner from CLF. Number 7, Jaden and Kaylee Meek. All right, student in service, their former profession. We got Brady Blake. Brady Blake, where you at? Number 6, he was a farmer, y'all. Okay, we got number 5, Clayton Bonner the third. Not the first, not the senior, the third. Where you at? Business owner, okay? Then we got our number 4, Kathleen and Peter Cost. Homeschool mom. Oh, she's strong, right? In the carpet cleaning business. Number 3, we have a Corey Hopper. Auto Finance Sales. Come on, Corey. Number 2, we have Tyler Nitzer. I hope I said that right. Service Tech. All right, but you know, it's only one number 1. You've seen her several times walk across the stage. Come on up, Connie Mendoza. All right, moving on up. We got the division leaders, all right. So number 10, we have Veronica and Salvador Vasquez, church secretary, all right now. We got number 9, Shauna Livingston. You done seen her, daycare provider. Let's go, Shauna. Number 8, Andrew and Teresa Dasman. Where y'all at? An analyst with a math degree. Pretty smart folks here. Okay, number 7, is this Quisha Robinson, collection agent. Number 6, Samina Beasley. Samina Beasley, teacher, yes. Number 5, Tom and Bridget Ann Maldonado. Where you at? Where you at? Realtors. Oh boy. Number 4, we got Michael and Galena. Oh, I always say this name wrong. How you pronounce it? Karinsky, yeah, engineer. Number 3, we got Ingrid and Joe. I'm not gonna even attempt. Retail and material handler. Number 2, Andrew and Krista Feta. All right, owner, youth sport organization. But it's only one number 1. Y'all seen her several times across this stage. Come on up, Kenya Williams. All right. Yeah. All right, we moving to the regional leader category. We finna start moving to the big dog. We got number 10, Chuck and Bridget Riccomuni. Where you at? I love this couple here. Number 9, we got Joyce and Mike Franklin. Oh yeah, tax preparer. Number 8, we have the wonderful Floyd Wiggins III. He's a pastor and a counselor, y'all, a true stud from Team Primetime. We got Dan and Teresa Riccomoni. Number 7, business owner. Number 6, Daniel Ortega, family restaurant. Then we got number 5, here comes Alima Stevenson again, retail sales. Number 4, from the Rice organization, we have David Rice and Haley. Number 3, here she go again, we got Kalia Newton, healthcare administrator. And number 2, y'all seen this couple several times. We got Nicole and Antonelli Jones. Where you at, Chico? And you know it's only 1. And y'all done seen this lady several times, reigning from Aaron and Mike's team. We got Lunday Lichty.
RVPs. I didn't want RVPs to have to give themselves a plaque, right? Regional Vice President, top 10. You watch. Somebody take a picture when the numbers all get up there. Not yet. When they get up there, take a picture of them and then see what it is next time to get into the top 10 and where number 1 is. I mean, things are getting ready to happen. Number 10, how he did this and did all the work we had him do with this, he didn't even get into the top 10 is freaking amazing. But number 10, I'm not going to read all of his Harvard background and everything. Eugene and Darcy Krupitsky. Number 9, thank God for her and all the things that she's done, getting put on the Women in Primerica board. By the way, it was so cool. Karen changed her flight to stay, to be here at 8 o'clock, and then took off, and the text that she sent, it's great to have a corporation where the corporate people are that way, you know? But she flew in to put this lady into that, former hairdresser. And look how close when these numbers, when they get up there, how close the difference is. You on one, making one extra thing on that team makes a difference. By the way, when I'm calling RVP's name, that is everybody in that team, right? That's a team. So, number 9, Jody and Dan Orrell. Number 8, Tim and Amanda Armstrong. Number 7, David and Shelley Beard. Number 6, Casey and Jennifer Corey. Number 5, Talis and Cerise Walton. Number 4, Martha Esperanza and Erica. Number 3, Aaron Eckert and Michael Moore. Number 2, Tom and Kristen Rice. And then number 1, and there's only, trying to keep you awake. She's setting a standard. Janine Anderson. Tom, you're next. You're doing securities, right?
Yeah. Why did I talk? All right, okay. Oh my gosh, I get to do securities, and you ain't gonna believe the first person! Give it up for the incredible Tom and Kristen Rice! Oh yeah, okay, right on. Rustin and Shannon Haynes! Technology sales, give it up for Rick and Linda Kuban! He was a bill collector, and now he's a $600,000 earner, Wayne and Dina Olson! He was the president of a carpenters union, and now he's a senior vice president of Prime America, Dawn and Vicky Elephant! A former mechanic, and now he's fixing finances, Keith and Larissa Hagerman. A Harvard grad, MBA, marketing analyst, JD, this and that. Give him some more, right? Eugene and Darcy Krupitsky. At number 3, out of Omaha, a former farmer and now building a family business again, the incredible Kenny and Helen Engelmeyer. He was a college student delivering phone books before Primerica, and now he's over a $400,000 income. Todd and Trisha Bosler. And there's only one. He was a former painter, and now he's a financial wizard. The incredible Greg and Sandy Vermeer. All right, this is District Leaders Securities Top 10 Customer Service and Physics degree. Give it up for Jeffrey DeVos. A retired Army person. Give it up out of Omaha, the incredible Carolyn Rogers Tominski, DC. A massage therapist. Give it up for the incredible Julie Sharp. He's a former student, now in the family business with his dad and his mom tearing it up out of Sioux Falls. Give it up the incredible Michael Kaiser. Computer IT out of the Engelmeyer team. Give it up for Randy and Sally Moon. He's a service tech out of the Armstrong team. Give it up for Jeremy and Anna Clark. He's a banker out of the Kripke hierarchy. Give it up the incredible Todd Alston. In construction, out of the LaRue team, out of Lincoln, give up the incredible Matt and Ann Walker. Out of the Westerkamp team, she was a graduate student, and she helped us in her office, and she is going to be unbelievable at Primerica. Give up the incredible Gabrielle and Justin Lowe. And there's only one. She's a senior business analyst out of the Bosler team, and I know they're proud of her. She is tearing it up. She's helping people, making money and killing it. Give it up the incredible Joan Crebo. All right, division leader, Securities. Give it up the incredible Charles and Tara Tatum. Out of the Engelmeyer team in HR, get up the incredible Arnie and Marcia Williams. Out of the Hensley team, and owner of an H&R Block franchise, get up the incredible Brett and Margie Bakeford. He's a retired Marine, and now he's going to take it happen at Primerica. Out of the Oral Express, give it the incredible Steve and Kim Turner. A former analyst and math degree, give the incredible Andrew and Teresa Dennisman. Out of the Tom Rice team, a nurse home caregiver, give the incredible Cynthia Sawyer. Out of the Kaiser team, a student and killing it in investments, Kevin and Patty Case. He was the MVP of the division category. Out of the Holloman team, he's an owner of a youth sports organization. Give it the incredible Andrew and Crystal Banner. Out of the Judy Marshall team, she's a former bank loan officer, and she is tearing it up. Give the incredible Tony Kelly. And again, there's only one. Out of the Dave and Chili Beer team, a former aircraft worker. Give it incredible Preston and Shannon Hayes. All right, this is the regional leaders. Top 10 security. Give it incredible. Out of the routine, law enforcement, Scott and Stacy Christensen. The Hageman team, a former nurse, Julia and Mark Bishop, Rare Air. And a team power move, a teacher and former truck driver. Give it up to incredible Andrea and Scott Stansfeld. On the Rubin team, former petroleum sales and marketing. Give it up to incredible Darren and Jackie Waldschmidt. From the Malloy team, a Dare K provider. Tearing it up at number 6, Brenda and Marty Soupy. He's a former student, and he's gonna be a near-term $100,000 earner for regional leader, David Rice and Haley Lando. Out of the Engelmeyer team, a former bookkeeper, killing it for America, number 4, Rodney Green. Out of the Rue team, a former accountant, Josh and Heather Bowden. Out of the Malloy team, a special needs teacher, Rhonda Monholon. And again, there's only one. Out of the Keith and Larissa Hageman team, a vice president of car dealership, tearing it up, give up the incredible Donna and Craig Wilson.
Okay, RVPs in security. This number's gonna go through the roof. I mean, I hope this is being recorded, right? That's good. You're gonna have to add 2 zeros to all these numbers in the coming year, okay? Because we're gonna recruit people that have that much themselves that they're gonna bring over. But number 10, with 2.3 million, John and Heather LaRue. I can't say that right. Our newest $600,000 earners with 2.5 million, Wayne and Deanna Holson. Number 8, I totally believe this guy will make $1 million a year by himself. I just want to convince him to be ready to bring over all those financial advisors and keep that recruiting mindset for that. This guy's good at the business, man. And another guy you want to take on, confrontation. Rick and Luciano Kuhlman. Number 7, 3.1 million, Dawn and Vicky Oliphant. Number 6, 3.4 million, Tom and Kristen Rice. Number 5, oh man, so close. Number 5, Eugene and Darcy Kravitsky. Number 4, and I want you to run up here quickly because I want to ask you something when you get up here. Number 4 with 4.7 million, Todd and Trisha Bosler. So Boss, when you get up here, grab me if they're still here, okay? Number 3, almost 5 million, Kenny and Helen Engelmeyer. Number 2, with 5.1 million, Keith and Larissa Hageman. And then number 1, and there's only, did a phenomenal job with his topic today. So proud of him. Having these people back in the room together makes a difference, okay? The incredible, awesome, number one, Greg and Sandy Vermeer. Is that all of them? Is that all of them? No. I think it is. Are we finished? Okay. Everybody can take their seats. We're going to hear from our MVPs, and then we're going to fly. Yep. And that's going to wind up being 200 million. Get more people licensed? Yep. Yep. Okay. As we're getting ready to bring our MVPs, actually, our MVPs can go ahead and come on up, except for Tom. You don't need to stand up here the whole time because Tom's going to help us close. A couple of housekeeping things, you know. We're pretty close if we wouldn't have had a major storm, but God has a plan, and his plan is always better. Are you going to use a box? Okay. Look, how many people would like to be able to have our stuff with this facility, and we continue to plan it out better and better and better, but how many people would like to have this, be able to live stream, do all the stuff for everything we have going forward? So, I don't know where Bev is, but Bev is the one that makes everything happen around here. Chairs moved, everything cleaned up, all that kind of stuff. And then Pastor Lee is the one that gets all the technology, does all the stuff. Didn't he do a phenomenal job singing this morning, right? So what we're going to get ready to do is we passed the hat before, I think. We're going to pass the box. And we want to bless these two individuals. You have no idea the work that they put in. And I want to make sure you all understand, they've never had in the history of the church a business function in their space. They believed it was a business function and allowed us to have the first one ever because of Dan and Jody, okay, and their relationship. And then I met the senior pastor on my first walkthrough, and he heard me talk about my ministry, and he was like, "What do you mean, ministry?" I thought that's led to a lot of conversations, right? But anyway, these folks work their rear end off. This is all extra work for them to help us do that. So in those, remember the people that are responsible for our breakout rooms, right? We need to make sure when we're done that Bev can tell us what we need to do, and maybe you recruit 5 or 10 of your friends to make it happen real fast in 3 minutes rather than, we had all our VPs where Bev's labor setting things up on Thursday, okay? So get some of your base shop folks to help on that. We want this place to look cleaner than when we came in, so make sure you get everything picked up. But we're going to get ready. Jody's got the box, and I will get my cash. Matter of fact, Wait. I'm sowing mine first. Malachi 3:10. So for Bev and Pastor Lee, actually just pass it down. Let the aisles pass it. Just let it go. And pray about if you got $1, $5, if you think it was worth it for everything they've done, we just want to give them something a little special. For their support. Now you're going to get to hear from our MVPs, and we're going to roll out of here. Before the MVPs, Our end of the month is Monday. Does anybody know if they've extended to midnight yet? Not yet. So right now, 5 Eastern, right? 6 Eastern or 5 Eastern? 5 Eastern. 5 Central, 6 Eastern. I will see what I can pull off for a midnight deal, okay? But get with your leaders. If nothing, what was great is I had a couple people in our base shop last night during the crazy storm. I was driving 20 miles an hour on the way home, right? That texted me or messaged me and said, what are we going for and how can I help you win, right? And sometimes you got to get creative at that. It is just getting your muscle memory back of going for something, right? Just that you're going to, maybe what you're just going to talk about it. But we talk about going for something that's an IBA you can get or more life premium you can have happen. Darren Woldrumuth just walked across and I introduced him to David Farmer. And Darren's been in the business for a long time. He's great at the financial analyst part of what we do, you know, has clients that loves him, has invested millions of dollars for people, right? But when I started to get back involved when COVID hit and we had the Zoom option, and no matter how my health was, I could Zoom, right? So I started to get back involved. Darren, when we talked about explaining our compensation and how you attract what you are, not what you want, you got to sow good seeds. And the way you max out our compensation on life is to make sure a life app is at $1,500. When it's only a client, you just do what's right, or even somebody that's not real serious about the business. But if you're serious about the business, you ought to have a $1,500 life app. If you're serious about the business and you're married, and with the new way you can do the policies, you ought to have 2 $1,500 life apps. You attract what you are, not what you want, okay? But Darren contacted me the last night of the month and said, he goes, I need to add to my policy so I can get the 1,500 because I'm going to make sure I do it right this go round on recruiting and building distribution. I said, all right, how do you do that? He goes, well, it's got to be on your POL because you're the agent because I'm direct to you. So he got my POL open for me through Zoom. He took it to all the right places. He filled out all the right stuff. He put my code number in there and pushed the button. That's going to make him millions of dollars in the future. That might be the only thing that you can go for and add. You just have to brainstorm and get with your leader and talk about it, okay? All right. Our MVPs, they have 5 minutes. I'm going to let you guys take the microphone and go district, just pass it on down the way. You're personal, right? Yeah. So personal goes first. That's good. So out of everybody in this entire room, this dude did more personally than anybody else, right? Does anybody want to learn some ideas from that? Yes? I mean, he's going to have some great stuff. And then when you're done, you just pass it down. Ryan and Eugene got the clock there. And then we've got Tom, who I'm excited to hear from. So our MVP, teach us.
It's on? Okay, here we go. All right, so first of all, let's give it up for God. All right. And then we want to thank Tom Rice. I want to thank Shane. I want to thank the Nyes and everybody else, my team. It's called personal, but everybody that produces knows that it's nowhere near personal. All I'm doing is helping people out. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and my story. So I've been in finance since I was 18. I'm 26 now. I graduated Iowa State with a magna cum laude finance degree. And then I quickly realized I wasn't going to be able to provide the impact to families that I really wanted to be able to provide. So I opened my options, and within 30 days, I had offers from 5 major financial firms to be an advisor for them. So State Farm, Mutual of Omaha, Farm Bureau Financial, etc. And they were all promising me a very healthy compensation, right? And even in my first year, I'm just someone that's never been swayed by numbers. I got to see what I'm actually going to be doing. So I had them give me a look at their products, and I quickly was able to realize where my compensation was coming from and how good of a product they seemed like for the companies. but they didn't make much sense for the families I planned on serving. So I knew I'd never be able to provide things for families that I wouldn't want my family to own or that I wouldn't want to own myself. And so I'm going to let my wife tell a little bit about how she's got started.
Hey guys, so I'm 27. I'm currently a salon owner. I don't know if I'm speaking too loud. And I've been very successful with my salon business, but what I don't have is time freedom. And my back is starting to hurt. So I was actually his first recruit. He came into my salon. I was foiling hair. And he's like, you need to fill this out. And I'm like, what am I filling out? Just sit down, I'll tell you what to say. So he filled out, and he's like, yeah, you're taking class like in 2 weeks. And I was like, wait, what? And then long story short, the pandemic started, my salon closed, so I was kind of forced to take the class. Either way, I was going to take it. And then, so after that, I got licensed right away. And then, I forgot what I was going to say. So basically what I was going to say is, so he didn't make me. He was like, we're doing this. So we're married, right? His goals are my goals. So I was like, sure. I didn't even ask questions. I didn't even like ask what he wanted to do. So I was just like, sure, whatever you're doing, I'm doing, okay? So I joined the company. And then I keep forgetting what I'm going to say. But basically, I had zero knowledge in finance. You don't need knowledge to be in this business. I didn't even know what life insurance was. I didn't have a budget, good, no retirement plan. So if it wasn't for this amazing man, I would not have got my life together. And that has helped my salon get to where it is to fund so we can be able to do this business so he can do it full time and retire me out of the salon. Then I can go full time. So I can have time freedom so our kids can have a great life and we can have way more time together. But yeah, all I'm saying is, doesn't matter where you come from. You don't need to know anything about the business. You just need a desire to learn and a desire to help people and a desire to want to be better. And I'm going to give the mic back to the man who changed my life.
Perfect. Way to go, babe. Everybody give it up for my wife. Beautiful wife. Let's give it up for my mom and my team over here a little bit one time. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to leave with is that fear is the opposite of faith. And so a lot of people know what they need to do, but something's keeping them from doing it. And getting over that fear, on the other side of fear, is what the human desire is more than anything else: comfort. And so to earn that comfort, you get through that fear, there's no feeling more satisfying than that. And so I'm going to let everybody in on a little secret. I hate work. I hate work. So that's why I work my tail off, so I don't have to do this for the rest of my life. And so what this here is for, not everybody's going to relate to this, but this is for the people that are here for 3 to 5 years to put everything they've got to be financially free for the rest of their life.
I'm Connie Mendoza. As I've said, I've been with Primerica since December, so I don't have much to say about my Primerica story because I can barely spell it. At least I can say it right. It's not Prime America or whatever. So there's another birthday in the house. It's my birthday and my twin sister. You know, I am 40 years old today. Oof. I lived my first 7 years in Mexico. I was not born in Mexico, though. This is weird. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. And the reason is my mom and dad believed in the American dream. And they did everything they possibly could. My mom went to visit her best friend in Phoenix when she was this big and somehow stayed there until she went into labor. They couldn't tell her no, you know? And that's how I became an American citizen. Woo! So, lived the first 7 years with mom and dad, my twin, my brother. There was a beach in our hometown. It was beautiful. My family was so happy. There was so much love, laughter. God. our mom had cancer, okay? We didn't know because we were so little, but she battled it for 5 years. And on this day, our 7th birthday, 33 years ago, she lost that battle. And our life was flipped upside down. My dad tried, but he couldn't do it, so he gave us up for adoption. That's how we ended up in America. And he knew we had a better chance if he gave us a way to have a better life than he could provide. I want to say that I'm educated and all those wonderful things, but I made some bad choices. My background is similar to David and Shane, so you know, I didn't have good job references. I was just, you know, being a CSR, that was the best I ever did, and I hated my job. I hated, you know, I was barely doing enough to not get fired and barely making enough to not quit. And it was just a freaking cycle and so much time away from my beautiful children. And when the pandemic hit and I was forced to work from home, I was bored. Man, I'm a social butterfly, in case you guys can't tell. I'm like, man, and but I hit rock bottom 4 years ago, personally and emotionally. And, you know, I tried everything I could. I wasn't getting ahead. I did everything. That was a problem. I can't do anything. I surrendered. I gave up. And I went searching for something I never had since my mother died, and that was God. When I gave my life to Christ, everything changed. He's bringing me from glory to glory, and everything in my life, I'm winning. I'm ready. So when this opportunity came, you know, I was like, wow, I think this is my calling. You know, my mother died when she was 39 years old. She never lived to see her 40th birthday like I'm seeing today. But she believed in the American dream, and what do we hear about America? It's the land of the free, the home of the brave. We know in corporate America that's not true. You ain't free. You're held hostage. I worked at a cubicle. It was like a prison, you know, like had pictures on my wall and stuff. Like people would come by, like, is it raining outside? I can't see. I don't know. But Primerica, we sell freedom. It is the home of the brave. It takes courage to do what we're doing. And I was prepared to be here and just to speak to you guys from my heart. Whew. Lead by faith. Let your faith be stronger than your fear, and you can do anything through God that strengthens you. You know, I'm just a baby Primerican, and I'm 40 years old. Took me a long time to find it, but I have found my calling. This is my calling, and God gave you all a calling. And if this is your calling too, I'll see you at the top.
Hey, real quick, the New York Yankees are in town this weekend. The NFL draft is in Vegas, and in our hometown, Omaha, Warren Buffett is having his shareholders meeting. None of those people are going to change your lives. You're here this weekend to change your lives, so give yourselves a hand real quick. It's got to be quick because I only got 5 minutes, and I got 30 minutes worth of material. I spent 3 months working on this, and then I found out I was talking, and I drew a blank, and that's a lesson there. You got to visualize stuff before it happens. You got to see it before it happens. But thank you, our team that's here present and watching virtually. Couldn't have done it without them. Help somebody else get what they want. That's really how we were able to get that production. Chico mentioned that too. Go promote a couple districts. Part of Tom's mission statement is to help people become more than they thought they could be. So we love our team. We love helping them unfetter their potential. Thank you to the Haldemans, Kathy and Gary. They've believed in us a long time. And I started with the company in 2003. I was 20 years young. Greg, we won't get into how immature I was, but I learned a lot. I piddled around for a while and really just absorbed everything and learned a ton. And Primerica changed my life. We were talking about the good old days, and I could tell you just how terse that letter that Greg got was. And I could tell you how scared and excited David Rice was of that slide. And Chico, Shane is the laziest person in the world, and it's his laziness that drives him to work so hard. And so you gotta love this. You gotta live Primerica. Get it inside of you, and it'll change your life. In 2011, we started a youth sports ministry, and we decided to use youth sports to teach kids Primerica principles and Christian values. And we affected a lot of lives, and then we felt called back to Primerica to impact even more lives greater with this incredible business. And Shane said that last night. We need leaders that are called, and that's really why we're here. I'd much rather be on the field with those kids than across the kitchen table. But this is where God called us, and had we not listened, that's how you end up in the belly of a whale. So belief is important. Pray. We prayed a lot, and really it's what we did was good, but it's the good things that keep you from what's great. And a lot of you might be holding on to something that's good, and that's keeping you from achieving something that's great. Pray about that, and you got to learn to listen. And if you don't know the answer, then like David said, just keep doing. Because if you keep doing, you're going to turn into the person you're supposed to be. And you may not do Primerica here, but you can do Primerica wherever you go. You can do it on a youth sports field. You can do it in your career. You can do it in your family. Shane, do you have a copyright on the kids' questions? Those aren't Primerica exclusive. But people not in Primerica can still teach their kids the kids' questions. You can do Primerica anywhere. It doesn't have to be in Primerica. And it's got to be daily. That belief, that prayer, it has to happen every single day because that little Janine is going to show up, right? And my kids were watching a movie. I don't know what it was, some cartoon. They said, Silencio, Bruno. And that's what you got to tell that little Janine when she shows up. I don't know if you've seen it. And then also, my wife was reading Coach, and she messaged me one day, and he said, Art said, every day I wake up scared to death and excited beyond belief. So if that's how you're feeling, you're right on track. So Art always talked about attitude and activity. One last thing on belief. I'm running out of time. People always say, look, if I can do it, you can do it. That drove me crazy. I don't know what you think of yourself to think that you're the least likely person in the entire world that could do this business. But one thing Crystal always said was, if anybody can do it, my husband can do it. Yeah, right? Yes, it takes a second. You got to take a second. But look, anybody can do this business, so you can do it too. Attitude and activity. We went to work on some accountability. Call your leader every day. We did the jar, get in the war syndicate, the Lions Den, figure out whatever you got to do and get that accountability going. And then the last thing here, they say don't give up. But I got some advice from Tom Rice just in passing the other day, and he said, don't let up. Don't let up, which I think is far more valuable than not giving up. Thanks for the time.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to start with a question. Has anyone ever ran for something really hard and you, barely missed it? Okay, so, little story. I ran for my future jersey, and I got my future jersey, but I didn't qualify for the trip to go get it, at the event, and I was devastated. So, that was happening, and then we had our last Midwest Builder School in January, and I was pumped. I was running for MVP, and I missed it. because I wasn't securities licensed, so I wasn't competing in a category. And I was like, well, okay, I didn't get it. Team, we have to compete harder. And like, I was on fire after that event. Oh my gosh, like all the messages on our Telegram, like I was like, we have to do something. We have to do something. I was freaking out. So we ran. We are all about pushing up our leaders and recruit, train, develop constantly, focusing on mindset, making sure that we are helping other people develop a healthy mindset to develop other people and growing. And that's exactly what we did. And we got MVP this time. And I'm still not competing in securities. So I didn't even compete in that category, and we still got it. So guys, I am so proud of you. This is a huge win for us because we were like close. When they would post the numbers for it, I'm constantly, oh my gosh, we're like 1 point away. We're like 1 point away. And we made it happen. I was shocked. So for us, our biggest thing that we focus on is what Shane talked about. We're recruiting. We're here to develop leaders to run a business. So all of the amazing things that we do are going to result from giving people the opportunity to change their lives and make an impact in other people's lives. So at least 3 times a week, we're discussing recruiting, how to have that conversation. We're always, when we go on appointments and presentations, we're aiming for the recruit missing with a sale. Every single time. And that's why we get to keep our numbers so high. Why it's not just me at the top, like our entire organization gets awards and they're in the leaderboards because it's not just one person running for anything, we're developing other people to lead. We have multiple field trainers, and that's simply because when someone pops out and they're showing the qualities of a leader that we want to develop, we're gonna develop them. Has anyone been at a job before where you're like, I want to be a manager, but they just wouldn't give you the promotion? You kept wanting it and they wouldn't let you have it for whatever reason, micromanaging? That does not create growth, obviously, in a normal job, and it's not gonna create growth here. So here, when you see someone who has those qualities of somebody who wants to lead, let them lead. Teach them everything they need to know. Let them fail forward fast. They're gonna screw things up left and right, and that's okay. Coach them on it afterwards and be like, all right, guys, you did good on this. This was rough. This is how we adjust it. Go crush it the next time. Because as you develop other people, you develop. We only get to go RVP, we only get to go SNSD if we bring up someone else to go with us. So development is the most important thing that I feel we did to accomplish this goal. Because when we develop everyone else, it means everything else that we want to make happen, all the premium, all the recruits, all the good stuff, that just flows naturally right behind it. And next time, we're going to be competing in the securities category. So anybody else who's like competing in that, be ready, we're going to dominate it again.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. I've got some books for you guys. So I'm going to put them right over there. So afterwards, grab them, okay? Yeah. He can stand right here. Stand right here. This is no lie. I mean, people would mistake Tom for me and me for Tom, right? And when we be at conventions and different stuff, newer people. And this guy is a blessing to everyone in here. He is a positive cheerleader. Same thing I said yesterday, which go coach, yep, I'll do it. He's all there, especially in front of all the other people. And then when he's doubting something, yeah, and they'll shoot me a text, are you sure? Kind of thing, you know. And then he's open to listening to what we're looking at doing, you know. And so we're blessed to have him here. We have the right person closing. Where are we at with the box that's floating around? Oh, you already got it? Okay. All right, good deal. The bank? You're going to the bank? What's that? Yeah, what did these people do? So Bev is getting $690. Pastor Lee's getting $680. He's the leader, so he's got to do a little less. Smart leadership there. Thank you to all of you who helped with that. But we got the right guy. Okay, we got the right guy. Matter of fact, he is the right guy. He knows that. So other than David, again, you wait. Our events are only going to get better. Communication will be better, all that kind of stuff. He's one of the first ones that actually can wear that one like me, the one I've got on. Like Chico, I was, who did, we always got to have the MVPs at the end, right? Was that unbelievable what they communicated? And David's, I've met a lot of Davids today. No, I don't. Yeah, Jacob, David. Oh, no, I mean Tom. He's the right guy to be up here. But Chico and David and Jacob and other people, but Chico can drive the base shop to 100 and 100 on their way to becoming regional vice presidents. And that's where we need to get everybody back in the game on, right? And this guy's the right kind of guy to lead it. He's got all of his kids. They're all in sports. They're starting to go to college and play basketball at college and all the things that they've got going on. So he's still got 2 more to get off to college, right? So he's a busy dude, but he's going to make it happen. He's going to get to 100 and 100 unless Janine's team just a second. Wait, no. It's not about you and it's not about Janine. Unless Janine's team is more serious than Tom's team. And Chico and David and Jacob, I don't know. We're just going to find out next time, right? But I know this, it's going to move up. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a blast. We're going to have fun. I can't wait to give out those new jackets at our next event. I can't wait to get the input of all the leaders so that we know that whatever that is, we're going to make sure it gets solidified. It's going to be awesome. Tom, you're going to lead the way. You're the dude closing. You're always closing.
Thank you.
Because you're the dude.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Shane. Hey. Now I got 2 of these. All right, okay. Hey, Shane, thank you. I guess I'd start with honored and humbled, right? Honored and humbled. It's an honor to speak in front of all you people, and it's humbling. There's so much competition right now, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second here. I think that is, it's going to be a great thing for everybody, for the hierarchy. Would you all agree with that? It's going to be a great thing for the hierarchy. So here you go. So thank you, Shane, Jim and Mary, right, for putting the event on. Give them a hand, right? All the people that helped, all the speakers did an incredible job. How about David Farmer? Give him a hand, right? Okay, the Jocks, unbelievable. Game changer, right? So, truly, my family, our team that are here and out there, and the ones that could make it, the ones that couldn't make it, and all of them, we appreciate every one of them so much. How about the ones that got recognized? Give all of them one more hand again, right? Everybody got recognized. And now, I want to especially recognize the ones that didn't get recognized. Man, you are the lucky ones. You get to go from being maybe the crunchy to now become the cruncher at the next event. And that's what me was all about, right? Hey, that's huge, you guys. So get after it. You saw the people up here. You should want to knock them off in a positive way, right? Okay? But somebody goes, what are you doing? I'm burying you, right? Okay? In a positive way, okay, right now. Right? You got to want to do that. Get that competition spirit going one more time. Just one more time, right? And then I'll say this. How about this? Give it up for Greg Vermeer. Greg Vermeer, right? Okay? Who would like to see the Greg and the Steve Vermeers come back to all the big events? All right, okay? Yeah! Right? Because I guarantee you, it will be just as good for us as for him, as for us, for him. And I bet he'd even bring a couple people with him that will probably love this deal, right, okay? And so how about that? Give one more time for Greg Vermeer coming back the next time in August, right, okay? And by the way, on Greg Vermeer, who feels like they want to go home on the way home, pick up like a homeless person and take them to Chick-fil-A or something, right? Okay? I think I'm gonna pick up 2 people, okay, right now. Okay, right? So anyway, right, so I'm just telling you, right? So it's a big thing. We have all the reasons out there, right? You hear, right? That maybe you shouldn't be in this, doing this. You get all those signs. I want to give you a couple signs for me that when Shane talked about. I had my aha moment. It was at an event like this. I've had a couple of them at events like this, driving home, it seems like. And I'll just tell you about one of them, weird event. I mean, the Gabalos were there, Nash and Hootie were there, Mark and Kim, Erica Brad, all these people, all these RVPs were on top of a hotel, and they were talking about all these moments they had and things that happened to them and moments they'd had. And I looked at my wife, and I'm okay, right, and I'm just fired up about being part of the team, right, okay, and kicking butt, taking names. We're on the way home, and this was probably 2002 or so. So, I mean, I was probably making $60,000 a month or so, right, at that time. And so I wasn't quitting Primerica, but I looked at my wife, I go, we're done, We're done, right? Okay, it's over. It's over for us. I'm not doing Primerica anymore. I guess I'm not supposed to be doing this. I ain't had this happen. This never happened to me. I don't know, okay? I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I guess I've got to figure it out, And at that time, about then, phones didn't work, right? Cell phones didn't work really that well between Des Moines and Kansas City, right? And my phone rang. I picked it up. No, I didn't even get to hello. And the person starts screaming in my ear saying, I don't know about you, but this never happened to me. That never happened to me. That never happened to me. But I know you're supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be there. We're going to go win together, and hung up the phone. And it wasn't Shane Rubin, okay? And I looked at my wife she goes, my wife goes, I burst out in tears a little, right, okay? And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened, right, okay? And my wife goes like, who was it? I go, it was God, right? And I'm just telling you, right? So you got to know you're supposed to be. At that point, I knew I was supposed to. It wasn't about the money anymore. It wasn't about this. We're supposed to be positive and sowing incredible, seeds out there, right? Positive seeds that help other people become what they want to become. And we just keep working and doing it. And that was my calling right there. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have that happen. If it hasn't happened, it will, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not you're supposed to look for something else. You're supposed to look for the calling, the reason you're supposed to be here, and then use that, and then get after it and go change your life, right? And anyway, so that was kind of the things that really fired me up. I want to hit just real quick, right? Do I do this or you do this? Okay, so you hit the top. Did I hit the top one? All right, okay. Break free the bins. And here's what I got, right? 2 months of total focus, right? We got the bins coming up, the convention, right? 2 months of total focus, 2 months of total effort, right? 2 months of total positivity, and 2 months of total unity. Actually, too, at the same time, we got 2 days till kick ass too, okay, right? We got all day tomorrow and Monday, right? And who's planning on finishing strong this month, right, okay? I'm just telling you, right? We got to go finish the month strong, but we got to tear it up between now and the convention. I didn't do a good enough selling this event, and I'm sure not going to blow it on that one, okay? We all got to do a great job of getting a few more people there, like another busload, okay? Not one or two, everybody's got to go, and we got to talk about it all the time. We're going to have to be the loudest voice and use this. Who feels different after this event, right? Feels different, right? I'm just telling you, if you thought this was good, wait till you get there. Wait till you get, you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't know there's David Farmer. He might know me, right? Okay, he goes, I remember you, okay, right? That's what happens. You'll see him there. You'll be like, man, that was that speaker that came to our place. And everybody knows who he is, right? So, and you're going to be, man, he came, right? So here's the thing, right? So the 3 key things, right, that you're going to focus on between now and then, right? Incredible belief. You want to have credible belief, a great environment, and an incredible sense of urgency. These are the things I would really try to work on, the intangibles, right? So incredible belief, a great environment, and then have an incredible, great sense of urgency. So I put this down. Incredible belief. What do you mean, right? Well, if there's no faith in the future, who would agree there's no power in the present, okay? We got to be, fired up about the future. We got to be fired about the event coming up. We have to get after it. We have to believe. We have to believe it's for real. You can do it, and it will be worth it. And I'm telling you right now, you got to look for the reasons it'll work and why you're supposed to be here, change your life, versus all the reasons you're not. So many people are looking for all the wrong things. Tried to look for the positive things. Hey, this is why I'm supposed to be here. This is what we're supposed to be doing. And I'm telling you right now, you will find what you're looking for. Would you agree with that? So let's look for the good and let's go kick some butt, right? And go make that happen. So here's the thing. possibilitize everything. Shane says it all the time, right? Possibilitize everything. Possibilitize the end of the month. Start possibilitizing the next 2 months after the end of the month. Start possibilitizing how many directs you could have to the convention, how many total base shop people, what you could do between now and then, how you could get on stage, all the different things, right? And go make that happen. So next, right? Incredible belief, right? So certainty. Certainty is what people want. People want certainty, and they want a leader like that. People don't quit when they don't make money. They quit when they lose what? Hope. I mean, our job is to keep hope alive and get people believing. Our job, in my opinion, is to believe in people until they believe in themselves, because people all have two voices inside. I remember hearing Keith Spell talk about this one. He goes, two voices, one saying you can and one saying you what? You can't. And you know the one that wins? He said the one that wins is the one you feed the most. See, we got to feed the right voice. We got to feed the voice that says you can, that you can do it, and it's going to be worth it, and you're going to win, and you're going to change your family's life forever. You guys, I'm just telling you, right? This will be our first month to make over $100,000 in a month, ever, okay? Never done that before. And there is a difference. We made 90 last month, 100 this month, probably make over 100 some next month, I think, with everything lined up and things are going on. And it is incredible. When I was making 50 and 60,000, but there's another life, I think, at 100, okay, right? I never, Jesus, my checkbook, I got to spend it, okay, now, all right. Okay, get it out of there, right? Okay, now, so my wife gets it. Okay, now, okay, right? Not kidding, right? Okay, she's awesome. Okay, now, she wouldn't spend it anyway. She's an accountant. She's a saver, right? Now, but you have to be the rock, right? Sell out, okay, and let people know they can count on you. Sell out. Let people know they can count on you, and that's the key, right? So next, right? Said three things, right? Great environment, right? So great environment, right here. Number one is this. You must have once a positive haven. Who would agree with that? Positivity everywhere, right? I remember people would come to our office back when people came to the office, right, more, and they'd be like, okay, when's it going to happen? I go, what's going to happen? He goes, when are you all going to get negative and start yelling? And so I go, well, that doesn't really happen here. This is our positive haven. This is our fun place, our locker room, right? So have a positive place. One that makes you better. One where winners can come what? Win. Okay? I would tell, use Chico, for example, here. Chico played football at a school called Dowling, Des Moines Catholic School, Dowling, and they've been the state champs 7 years in a row. Well, understand, he was the first year that they won it. He was the first year. He was the pulling offensive guard. And I go, man, that's what you're building. That's what you're building. That winning team, everything you learned there, you bring it here. Everything you did there, you do it here. Everything you thought there, you think it here. And you go live like that, work like that, and live like that, you'll win like that. And that is truly the key, you guys. So you got to build that, right? That environment like that. And we got to build an environment like that. And that's what we're trying to do. So, and you got to build one that people want to check into, but they don't want to do what? Check out of. An environment that people want to check in but not check out. And it says here, one where champions can become what? Champions, okay? And that's the key, right? So now, here we go. Huge sense of urgency, right? Now, this right here is probably the key. It doesn't happen overnight, but it doesn't take forever either. Would you all agree with that? It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't take forever either. We got guys making $1 million a year in 3 years now, okay? I'm like, what the heck, right? Now, I'll give you this too, right? It takes a lot shorter time than you thought too, because if you had a job right now that you were going to make $100,000 a year at, right? And let's say you start in 2 weeks. Somebody said, well, what do you do? I'm working at blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? Yeah, what do you make? Well, I make $100,000 a year. Yeah, what do you make $100,000 a year? You haven't even got paid yet, okay? How do you make $100,000 a year? Understand when we say that, Greg makes over $700,000, it's not like he's on track. He already did it the last 12 months. Does that make sense? So whatever it is, he already did it 12 months before that. It's incredible, right? So just know that it doesn't take forever. It doesn't at all. You got to get after it. It's all about attitude and about activity, okay? Attitude and activity. They say if you control your attitude and drive your activity, right, your possibilities are limitless. And ask everyone, can it be done today? I would be on a call with Shane. I would be on Shane's area one time in Kansas City. I popped in his office. And he was in Disney World, right, okay, with his kids, right? And somebody said, come on in. He's doing a conference call in 5 minutes. You can listen in. I go, dang, right, okay, right? So got my pen out, right? I'm taking notes, and he goes, hey, everybody should have a sense of urgency. Can you get it done today? You know what he said after that? Can you get it done not? Can you get it done now, right? That's what I go, oh, my gosh, that's so good, right, okay? So you got to ask yourself all the time, can you get it done today? Can you get it done now? And just go make it happen. Here's what they said. They said Disneyland was built in a year by one man's vision, right? The Empire State Building was built in 1 year by 3 bankers, okay? And your attitude, if it's worth going to, let's what? Race. If it's worth going to, let's race. Let's get after it. Let's go win. And Janine, man, it is the greatest thing ever. You did such an incredible job last night. Give her another hand for the incredible job she did, right? You know what? If I don't get the $100,000 base, I hope you're the one, or Aaron, or whoever, right? Let's just go do it, right? Let's get somebody to do it. Go blowing people up, right? So that's the key, right? Now, so here you go. Last is this. Start believing in you. Start believing in you. Believe what? Hey, number one, believe you deserve it. Man, so many people walk around, they don't deserve, believe, I would do that. Man, believe you deserve it. Believe that you're what? That you're worth it. Believe that you're worth it. And the last is, believe that you can do it. Because I'm telling you right now, you came from rural Route 1, box 119A. I didn't know nothing about this stuff. My dad was paying $10,000 a year for the wrong kind of life insurance. We did the same thing for $3,000. We helped him. I sat there thinking, we help my dad. He is the smartest man I know. We are going to help everybody. And I don't know about you, but I thought everybody was what? Everybody. You know, I found out everybody is everybody. That's our market. It's everybody. Man, we should be helping everybody. And when we're doing that, you're going to help all the homeless too, like Greg is, right? Okay, now. And it's huge, right? So here's a couple rules of life, right? A couple rules of life. One is this. If you don't go after it, what you want, you'll never have it. Who would agree with that? If you don't go after it, you'll never have what you want. Man, you got to go after it, right? Number two, if you do not ask, the answer will always be what? No. Man, you got to ask. You got to ask, right? You'd be surprised the answer you get sometimes. I always tell our speakers before they go up to speak, like at an op meeting or something like that, I go, hey, they all want to buy and they all want to join, baby. Okay, right? They go, because I had to tell myself that. Every time I go to an op meeting, I bet, man, they all want to buy and they all want to join, right? And I found if you don't ask, the answer is always no, right? So here you go. If you don't step forward, you're going to remain in the same place. My daughter's 7th grade basketball. She's in Lincoln right now. And I got the other daughter that's home. Jacob, she's mowing the yard, so we got to do it when we get home, right? Okay, right now. And I got another one, Arkansas, that's getting ready to come home on Tuesday from playing basketball. And then my 2 boys are here. But think about this. My daughter is playing basketball right now, the 7th grader. Her coach always says, don't get downhill. Get downhill. Don't go back, get downhill, right? We I found in Primerica, get downhill, right? Get an appointment set, make something happen, get a recruit, and go drive this thing and go do it. And I'll close with this, right? Here's the thing. How big would you dream and how hard would you work? How big would you dream if you knew it would come true? Man, how big would we all dream? We'd be dreaming of the biggest things, second homes, the cars, the things with our parents, the best vacations. Truly, you'd be thinking of Keith Otto's life, right? Man. You follow that guy? I don't follow him on Facebook. My wife always does. She's like, you see this shit? I go, no, you make me sick. Okay, right now. Okay? It's unbelievable, right? And I'm just telling you, it's unbelievable, right? And then and number 2, right? How hard would you work if you knew you wouldn't fail? You got to work like you know you're not going to fail. And you know it's going to come true. Because it can, it will. And at Primerica, if you work, it works. Not part of the time, all the time, for all people. And that's some of the biggest keys. So here you go, right? If not here, right, Jody? Where? If not now, when? And if not us, who? And that's the biggest question. So here you go. Be patient. God isn't finished with you yet. Be patient, right? Man, we are far from done. You are far from done. This is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. I'll give you this. My daughter called up. She goes, I can't wait to get home and start working with you guys. I go, you mean in Primerica? She knows. I mean with you guys, with you, David, and Jacob. I don't want to work with you guys. I'm just telling you right now, your family feels the same way about you. They don't want to do Primerica. They want to work with you, with your spirit and your leadership and your winning. They're coming. It didn't matter what we be doing. I want to work with you guys, right? You know, be that. You know how you do that? Put a smile on your face. I used to write on my hand every day, smile and be happy, 1 and 2. That's about 2 points a day, every day. People say, what's on your hand? Smile, be happy, okay? And I would look at that every day, and I would be, okay, yeah, okay, right? Okay, I'm not happy right now, but I'm telling my face I'm happy, okay, right? Okay, I'm pissed as hell. No, right, okay, now, okay? And Janine beats us, I'll really be pissed, okay? I'll need big letters, right, okay? Okay, right now, okay? So I'm telling you right now, but I'm rooting for you, okay? So here you go, right now. Be fearless. The pursuit of what you want sets your soul on fire, right? Be fearless, you guys. And you know the saying, right? Stay hungry, stay humble, always be the hardest working person in the room. And I tell my kids that all the time. I go, you stay humble, you stay hungry, and you always be the hardest working person on the court. okay, or on the Zoom, but in Primerica, in the room, right? Just be working, just find work, get something done, make a call, and make that happen. I see Jacob calling and working and calling, and Jacob, and I'm like, man, I call his brother up, I go, man, I'm so proud of your brother. He's like working like a dog, killing it, right? And I'm just telling you guys, right? All of us are that way, though. You all make the extra call. I'm telling you, the ones that are the future winners right now, they're making the extra call right now. Make the extra call, make the extra thing, and go make that happen. So close with this, right? Stay focused and aim what? High. And it's a Shane Rubinism, right? Everything's about, you know what it's about? It's about more, next, and what? Win. And I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Wait till you watch that back. You've never done better than what you did yesterday. Here, I put that. Okay, that's good. Tom. All right. More next win. Next. As long as we know for sure April, May, June, and July are getting measured. That's what the competition is. Talk to your leader. Help your leader maybe you need to help your leader like I did with Tim. He was a district. I was a brand new person. And I helped when we started going for something because an event was coming, right? And if your leader doesn't have something set, doesn't know what they're going for, ask them to. Help them, okay? That you are putting their life maybe for that reason, okay? So we know we're aiming for, if the space is available and the company, which I do believe all this will work out, August 26th and 27th. So put that on your calendar. It will only get better. You need to think about your more next win. Look at how many you got here. Set an attendance goal for how many you're going to have at the next one. You got to have a specific goal. Set an attendance goal. And let's get after it. I'm alive. Yeah, I'm alive, I'm awake, right? I live for a reason, folks. I died, right? I live for a reason. And a big part of my reason is to be standing here right now for what's going to happen in just the next couple of years. I don't know what happens after that, but I know I'm good for a while. And we need to take things to a much higher level, all right? Thank you for all the leaders that participated to help in putting all this thing on. Thank you for being patient with me on all the toes I stepped on and all the things that I did. And I can promise you this time, next time, it's going to be better, all right? So, more next win. Go have a great day. MVPs, right there.